Texas won't let me in. I ain't gonna be here long. Not afraid I'm going. I ain't gonna be here long, Lord. I ain't gonna be here long. But my heart it sure ain't pumping like it used to do. Lord knows I bump my leg and it turns black and blue. Yes, it does. Now they say that it's unhealthy the way that I live. My liver's gone, my lungs are shot, and my heart's about to give. But I ain't gonna let that bother me, no. So I'm drinking, smoking, gun to rebel son. I ain't gonna let that bother me, no, Lord. So I'm drinking, smoking, gun to rebel son. I ain't gonna be here long. Not afraid I'm going. I ain't gonna be here long, Lord. I ain't gonna be here long. Ain't gonna be here long. No, not afraid I'm going. I ain't gonna be here long, Lord. So I'm drinking, smoking, gun to rebel son.
And welcome to Fren Report Live. This is Fren Report Live number 16. And with me tonight, I have Air Raid Siren.
Howdy, folks.
I have Johnny Ketamine, a.k.a. K-Hole, a.k.a. Juke Nukem.
How's it going?
And I have Mr. CongoRed Jr.
Oh, how you guys? Everybody doing good tonight? Everybody having a great?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pretty good over here.
having a nice little conversation about some classic cars before we got started. That was pretty good. Got me in a good mood. So, yeah.
Not to emasculate anyone, but my mom was big into classic cars her whole life. And, she used to work at restoring them back in the day. She was a Charger vet. So she had a number of Chargers.
Nice.
Nice.
But, yeah, she was.
Based.
Yeah, she was the one
Any
who got
General Lees?
Yes, but not the paint job.
Holy shit! Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
And she had one that there was one Charger she had. I'd have to ask when she gets back to the house, but they made like 5.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but yeah, she's the expert, not me. She knows all about that stuff. It's pretty fascinating. You don't see many women that are into it, you know.
Yeah,
she is.
Few and far between. A lot of them like posing next to cool cars. They don't like working on them.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that either. I'll tell you.
Well,
Two
you
of the
wouldn't
greatest
want
things right there. God, a lot of staff.
Yeah, you
Beautiful
wouldn't want
women
my
and-
70-year-old mom doing that these days. But, maybe
Oh,
in her
yeah,
youth.
no, probably not. Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But, you
No.
know, 1975 might not be too bad.
No, 10, 15 years ago when there was a bit of a rock and roll scene around where I live. Guys like me with the classic cars, we'd have photographers and their little pinup dolls want to bore our cars all the time. And I didn't never lend out my car because I was either married or pretty well married, and my my ex wasn't down with some nude gal laying on the hood of my car. I was okay with it. I didn't care, but
when I lived in Arizona, the big thing out there was at the time lowrider, right? Like you know, mini trucks and all of that. And I had a Volkswagen Jetta that I had that I did all up just for something, you know, a project, something to do. I had the sliding rag top, and I shaved it all, painted it. It had the hydraulics and the stereo, redid the whole interiors, like tweed and everything. Billet wheels and the steering wheel and all that stuff. It was a fun little project, but after I built it, I was like, I don't even want to, it's not really my thing. So I sold it. But it was fun to do. I learned a lot about cars and welding. Dude, holy cow, man, getting the side of your, shaving down everything, making it sure it's perfectly smooth.
Yeah.
I didn't paint it. I paid for it to get painted, but it was something to do, I didn't have a whole lot going on down in Fort Paducah down.
No, it's better than getting into drugs or friggin' gangs or any of that garbage, right? Like you're learning something.
Yeah, my security clearance, I'd have been breaking rocks at Leavenwood doing that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, but people do, right? And I mean, if you weren't in the military, it'd be that much easier to get into. When you got young men with nothing to do, they get into trouble, right?
That's right.
And like it's funny where I am, the cops will pull you over if you're doing something stupid, but they seem to give a little bit more leeway for the old car guys.
Really?
Like I have no idea how. I never got pulled over my '58, knock on wood. My '57 Chevy I had, which was also a daily driver, winter and everything. And we're talking Canadian winters. People look at me like I was fucking retarded, but I'm like, dude, this is so awesome to drive in the winter.
Oh man!
But
57 Chevy's a dream car.
Yeah. It was a 4-door. It was rusty. I just slapped trim clad on. I rolled paint on it with a paint roller and paint brushes. Put some flames on the front. Nice. Just had a small block Chevy in it, and I'd go ripping and tearing. But I just did it for my own joy, my own pleasure. I had this like image that I wanted a car. I'm like, this is it. This is what I want to drive. And it's something out of a movie that I maybe saw when I was a kid. I don't know. But I didn't realize that everybody else was kind of enjoying it too. And people would be like, oh man, I remember the time you got pulled over right in front of my apartment building, and you're out there with your, cigarettes rolled up in your sleeve, and the cops are giving you a hard time. And I'm sitting there like, fucking, you're sitting there watching me, like, yeah, man, it was awesome.
You got your blue jeans.
It wasn't for me.
Your blue jeans and your white T-shirt.
Yeah. the whole fucking Grecian thing going on, man. Still do to an extent, but
it's epic.
Well, yeah, and especially the '50s era, especially the Chevys and the Oldsmobiles from that era. I like the Olds a little bit better than the Chevys, personally.
Don't forget, like Packards. There was just so many cool cars.
Dude.
Packards were cool too.
But anything, there's only a few cars from that era that are too ugly to really do anything with. Everything else, it's like if you tweak it a little bit, swap out the grill, do this, do that, and it's like they all look fucking cool, man.
So what happened? What happened to the auto industry? How did it lose that beautiful style?
No, times change.
You can really trace it back to when the Japanese cars started coming in the '70s, and everybody wanted a compact car that's economical and all this bullshit.
Have you ever seen?
Actually, I think what mainly did it was the gas crisis in the '70s
and the Carter gas crisis.
Yeah, the Carter gas crisis, because that's when they started coming in with the Toyota Camrys and shit.
Yeah, but I think Nader had a lot to do with the fucking changing style of cars, because even with the gas crisis, I mean, they could have thrown out some more economical cars, and they already were, right? Like, they had the Corvair in the early 60s.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a Nash Metropolitan?
Oh,
yeah.
Those things are fucking tiny, and they're from the 50s.
Yeah.
Right? And then all the little British imports that they had, the Anglias and
the V-dubs, like the little rabbits and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
What was that Soviet car?
Gentlemen, I have to dip out for a little bit because my boss is a little upset at me right now, so I will be back in about 1 hour. Yeah, I was supposed to make a delivery today. Final destination was closed.
Oh, damn.
So I can't deliver until tomorrow at 6 a.m. and he's a little pissed, so I gotta give him a call and
good luck, dude.
myself. So I'll be back.
It's good that it's not your fault though, so that's
yeah, true. So I'll be back.
All right,
good luck.
All right, brother.
Thank you.
Was that was the Yugo, wasn't it? Was that the Soviet? The Yugo?
Yeah, but there's the Russian ones, the Yugoslavian, obviously.
Yeah. And then there's the Ladas. The Lada.
Is that the one you're talking about? Or did I lose your... I think I lost audio here.
No, you're here. I hear you.
Yeah.
But then there was the Ladas. I'm in Bulgaria, so they still have Ladas floating around and shit. So.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Remember Renault?
I lost audio there.
Renault.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I always wanted a nice little MG.
Oh, there's this one. What was the name of it? I forget the name of it. But it was a classic Soviet car from like the 50s era.
Yeah.
It's fucking nice. Like I guess like in the 50s they were still trying to like compete with America, you know what I mean? Because it's like as cool as a Cadillac or something from that era, you know?
Yeah. But you got to remember that they had to provide shit for their satellite states that would compete with the Western imports.
That's what I was saying. In the 50s, they still had to be like, oh, look, we're as good as America, blah, blah.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And they'd be competing against Mercedes and BMW and all that too, right?
Right. Because they were like looking at a Cadillac and being like, oh, we got to make something just as cool, you know?
My favorite that I've always wanted, and they're not terribly expensive even, it's just usually you got to do some work on them.
Yeah.
I've always wanted a nice classic, like maybe a 64, 65 Triumph Spitfire.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Now, they're a lot easier to find and they're not quite as cool, but
right.
the good thing about those is they kind of kept them almost the same for decades.
Mm-hmm. It was like 62 to 80 or something, right?
Yeah. If you can't find the exact one, at least you can get something fairly similar with, I bet, you're going to have to do work on it. You guys ever heard of a, what the hell were they called? No, I don't even remember. Sorry. Alpine. Sunbeam. It's a little British car. They had the Sunbeam Alpine, the Sunbeam Tiger.
I know what you're talking about.
You ever watch the show Get Smart? The original,
yeah.
He drove a little red Sunbeam Tiger.
Oh.
That's what I know it from is Get Smart. Yeah.
Yeah. So they crammed a small block Ford into that tiny ass little car.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those things were crazy, man. I had a brother-in-law who had the 4-cylinder one, and he put in a 302 Ford into it, and it was just terrifying, just absolutely terrifying. You don't need a lot of power if you got a light car, right?
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, that's
so you can have.
It's the power to weight ratio.
Yeah.
So you have like
that's the key to motorcycles, right?
Mm-hmm.
No weight.
Well, you have an 80 horsepower engine with like 60 foot-pounds of torque, but you rev it up to 10,000 RPM, and boom, you're like scary ass shit, right?
Yeah.
And car talk.
Yeah. We should probably turn this into a segment so that we don't go rambling too long. We do like the Tuesday engine talk or something.
I threw a picture of the little Spitfire in the Twitter there, the group chat there. That's the one I want, the British green, British racing green.
Yeah, that color, man. Yeah, the Sunbeams came in that same color, and they're a similar looking car. Okay. Yeah. Here, I'm gonna throw a picture of a Sunbeam. I don't know if I'll find out.
Yeah. I love those old ones, man. Like I was gonna do my old Rover in the racing green, but I ended up doing baby blue because it was cheap and But I always like that classic British. It's nice. That's what the Queen uses, right? The old German Queen who tends to be British.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a picture. It's a pretty well the same green. Where did I put that? S.
I know Jag uses it, of course, and Austin Martin.
Yeah. Here we go. Here I just posted it in the chat.
Oh,
the back
yeah.
Yeah, the back of the Sunbeams are cool because they have these like tiny little fins. So it's
I actually kind of like that better.
Yeah, they're cool cars. I don't like the hips on the back by the rear wheels on the Triumphs as much, and the MGs kind of have that same look.
Yeah.
Where the Sunbeam kind of looks a little older school, but
yeah, I love the headlights.
I don't know. I kind of like the more molded back fenders there personally, but
yeah. Well, that's the beauty of it. It's an aesthetic thing. It's whatever you like.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I like the custom car scene, because you might walk into or see somebody driving or walk into a car show, and there's something you're just like, oh, that's fucking horrifying. I would never do that to my car, but that's what that guy wanted.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, if you like that, you do that, right?
I remember I used to do my Volkswagen, my Jetta was in magazines, all kinds of stuff, and we did some shows and like mini truck and that kind of stuff. And there were guys that would have like cracking Bentleys that would be all done up, and I'm just like, dude, if that's what if you got the money and you want to play with your toys, and deck them out, do whatever, that's your prerogative, man. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yep. My dad always drove the El Caminos.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fucking awesome.
Those were good driving cars too.
Yep. Yeah, they were great.
And handy.
People put the sofas in back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what's crazy? So when the American automotive manufacturers stopped making those, they kept making them in Australia.
Really?
Yeah, they call them Utes there.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
Pontiac was coming out with a rear-wheel drive car again in the late 2000s. And
that actually reminds me. I was thinking of what Pontiac stands for. We haven't said our gamer word for the day.
Oh yeah. What's the word of the day?
So gamer word for the day. How about porch monkey?
All right.
Hey, what up? That's a good one.
What's up, Jamie?
Hey, how are you doing, brother?
Good. How's everybody doing?
Pretty good.
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Oh, there it is. I'm gonna post a pic of my 57 in the group chat here, so you guys can see what that piece of junk looked like.
All right. See, I like to put these on the screen, but then I don't want to show all my DMs there too. So.
yeah.
And also, this picture you can see it. You can see a license
exactly
plate,
exactly how I imagined it. Actually, like that.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
You know, it's funny. I used to paint the white walls on.
Yeah, I can tell.
But
yeah, because I scrubbed it off the curb. And when they were fresh, I went to a car show, and I'd park this thing off to the side because it was a piece of junk, and people would come over and go like, "Why are you parked in there?" I'm like, because I rolled the paint on, and it's barely safe to drive in the road, whatever. But a guy comes up to me, he's like, "Oh man, where did you get those white walls? Those are amazing. I want to get some for my car." And I go, "Oh shit, dude, you don't need to, they're not some expensive thing. Listen, this is what you do. You buy this type of paint. It's a Krylon paint, spray paint for plastics. You tape the tire off, you paint it. It looks like brand new, and as long as you don't hit a curb, it looks great. And if you do hit a curb, you just take it home, you pull the wheel off, you tape it up again, you repaint it." And the guy was just like, "Oh, okay," and walks away. If I had told him that they were like $1,200 tires, he would have been talking to me for 20 minutes about them.
You'd be like, "Oh, these are really hard to find," but I'll tell you this set.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I had these custom made, but
you'd be
I could
pulling
be talked
the Jew
out of
artwork trick, doing the Jew art world trick on them there, man.
Well, actually, that's kind of the same thing because you painted them yourself, right? So you'd be like, "Oh, I custom made these." It's all in the wording,
You just need a guy named Bernstein with curly hair and fancy clothes to come over and be like, right. "Oh yeah, I remember I paid at least $3,500 a pop for those back."
Oh, right. What a good deal! You can't miss out on this good deal. Oh
yeah. Just fetching, rubbing them hands. The steam coming off them hands. He's got so much friction going on.
Could have just told him, I custom make these, but I can make you a set.
Yeah.
So all right, we had a bunch of car talk, but
You got to get warmed up, right? You know, you got to get in the batter box and warm up a little bit.
Totally.
I think.
But,
I don't know anything about sports, so
speaking
I
of,
could be wrong.
But this is a pretty good warm up here too. This is pretty awesome. A buddy of mine called the Wanderer at Wanderer Salute on Twitter posted this video. I'm gonna play it for us here.
Oh,
pretty good stuff. Yeah. Called the Wanderer at Wanderer Salute on Twitter. Posted this video. Put them at home. I'm gonna get good at this one of these days.
Brother, I used to try to do the streaming thing on YouTube before they gave the old kaput. Because once I kind of like was able to at least talk to people, you know, my mouth, I just started going. So the Jew, like the first word out of it, you know, I lasted about 2 videos, you know. And
well, guess what the video is about.
Uh-oh.
I'll give you a hint. It's about the number 109.
Uh-oh. So what's the other number up to? Is it like what, 1,300 something?
Oh,
because it's like what, 109 nations and then 1,330 or something odd times, right? Like between city-states and cities, multiple times from the country.
Something like that.
Ah, man, how could you? And then to have the stones to be like it's everybody else.
Right? Whoa. Oh, that's because we're oppressed. Blah, blah, blah. Like, okay.
Oh, folks.
All right, so let's get to this video here. It's pretty good.
Actually, I know that my buddy made it. It's that video was made by my boy 45th Division.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. It's a good video.
Good stuff. So yeah, you were saying something, but I couldn't hear it because of the music in the video. But
oh, I said just if you guys ever want videos, just let me know. I post some on my account, but I just checked my folder, 3.18 terabytes.
Nice.
So I got quite a collection. You know, some of it's 20 years old, some of it's new.
Hey.
But,
some of the old stuff, some of the better stuff, a lot of time.
Yeah. Some of it, my buddy made 45th.
Yeah.
And some of it, another couple of my buddies made. They don't do Twitter though. But got a buddy of mine that's out of Detroit, does some really good stuff, but he's been banned off everything. The only thing he's got left is World Truth videos.
Yeah. Which that's pretty good, actually. I was thinking about that today, and I need to start uploading these to World Truth videos.
Yeah, Goim TV's all right. You know, if you got issues, let me know, and I can talk to Handsome Truth.
Yeah. Fair, might as well throw them up there. We got BitChute. I don't like BitChute, to tell you the truth, because it doesn't work very well.
Several of my buddies got banned off of there. They kind of caved. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd already heard of people getting banned off of there too. I know. Like when they were first starting out, before they were still building it and stuff, I was talking to them about how they could do it better, but they didn't want me to do it, so whatever.
Yeah, and they dipped out on the live stream, the live stream.
Yeah. Yeah, because their whole model was like, I was like, oh, we could do this with a blockchain. You could do it, blah 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 blah, and they didn't want to do all that. And
okay. What was the one you just mentioned? World Truth video. Is that what you said?
WorldTruth.tv. Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
Lots of cool stuff on there.
Yeah. Goim TV is another one. A little smaller than World Truth, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But I kind of, I don't know. I'm a little weird. Like, I don't want to be called a goy. I don't want to do something that calls me a goy. I don't.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not a cow. No thanks.
Yeah.
So I just saw something a couple of minutes ago on Twitter, and it kind of brought up a question that I was thinking you guys might have opinions on. So Donald Trump had tweeted something about the Corona Chan not being as bad, and people not getting hospitalized as much, and this and that. And I'm wondering, like, does he know the whole story on that? What do you guys think of that? Does he know? Or you think that he is kind of in the same boat as us? Because you think he'd have the inside info on it.
I can tell you a normal president that has a cooperative administration, their security briefings are pretty thorough. They're pretty up to snuff, because their decisions impact the whole planet.
Yeah.
So they have to, just in case, so he doesn't make a bad call, to make a bad decision that causes a whole spiral of events. But with Trump, there was so much dishonesty.
Somebody got
deception.
some clicking noise in the background there.
I've been hearing that too.
It sounds like typing. That's what I thought.
Yeah, probably typing. I don't know what it is,
but
stop.
It certainly isn't me. I can't type, so my typing is like one finger at a time. But with Trump, like, there was so much opposition to his presidency, even from within, and he commented on that before and said that he liked having that opposition. That he hired people that were a little more opposed to him.
Yeah, he wanted the whole spectrum of opinions and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Bush just got the yes.
Yeah, he just wanted yes, man.
Bush just wanted to be told yes, sir, and that's it.
Yeah, right. I thought it was. This is what's going off on a little bit off the original thing, but I always thought it was kind of. I think it was a bad move, and it didn't help any, because Trump did the optics he tried for the optics. He tried to look like he's playing with the team and he's here for, you know, I want to work with everybody, and all it did was cause him problems.
Yeah, and he didn't do himself any favors with that because it didn't really help anything.
No, and he came in with the whole, I mean, he got elected on the drain the swamp thing, and that's what everybody wanted. And there he was going, no, I'm going to work with these guys because I want to show them, you know, I'm not a dictator, and I want to, you know, work with everybody. And it's like, they don't want to work with you. They're just
and there was that,
and it doesn't matter.
In their hands.
And there was that speech, and it still stands out in my mind because it pissed me off. I knew it wasn't going to happen, but it still pissed me off because when everybody was chanting lock her up, and he's like, no, forget about her. We don't. If you lock him up, you know. And I'm like, dude, just cost yourself some votes, man.
Right.
And the crowd just kind of was. The crowd wasn't very happy about his answer either. You know. And it's like, you made a promise, dude, that you were going to pursue the investigation into Hillary. Yeah. You know, you hyped her up for 2 years about how corrupt and what a criminal she was, and then you just let her walk. It makes you look like a criminal. You look complicit.
I mean, that was like his biggest moment during the debates and stuff.
Oh,
she was like,
remember that?
Yeah. Oh, I was lucky you weren't president then. It's like, because you'd be in jail. And then,
that was that probably might have been one of the big things towards his winning.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. It was, absolutely.
And then with everything else that was happening in the background, but like that was like probably the most powerful
the
statement.
shot heard round the world.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody who voted for him pretty well wanted. They wanted him to kick asses, take names, prison sentences.
And that was a knockout. That was really a knockout blow because she didn't even have a response, if I remember. She just kind of chuckled a little uncomfortably, and that was it. Like, nailed her with that. Where's that wit now? He didn't show any of it with Biden. He just got
and it's like I said, Trump the man is whatever. What was important is the Trump the symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
It just like I think he has the faculties and the ability to be more effective than he is, but I also think that he went into it without thinking he was ever going to be president, and B, I think he honestly keeps thinking that he can make things work with the system that exists, that somehow he was going to be able to you know, people would just start coming along because they see that he's doing the good stuff, right?
Yeah, he was like, oh, well, if I keep doing the good stuff, eventually they'll recognize it and
accept me. Dude.
And that was never going to happen. He had to clean it out. Like, they don't want good shit for us, you know what I mean?
Well, exactly.
That's actually why they hate you, is because you're doing what... Because anybody could do it if they had the will in that office, if they had the will to do it. It's that they didn't, you know?
Yeah. It's hard to imagine what kind of opposition. I kind of had the feeling, I have no evidence, you know, I don't know this, but it's just a feeling that it must have been the only time at times in the White House. Because I don't think he had people around him who felt like he could trust and this is where people like us, I think, come other than Kushner and Ivanka. I think that's who he ended up turning to.
Well, and that was another problem. But he did that to himself because...
He did.
Because he didn't stand up for Flynn like he should have. Roger Stone, like, you know, all his people that were with him from the Bannon. Yeah, all the people that were with him from the beginning, if he would have left them in there and stood up for him like he should have, you know what I mean? But instead, he let them get bullied and fucking brought in everybody else trying to be all fucking diplomatic and shit. You know?
Yeah. And he appointed a lot of the tribe. I made some collages, you know, as
well, and like you said, I think a lot of that had to do with Kushner being the only people, you know, being the ones around him that, like...
Well, you know, in the circles for a while, there was a lot of talk that told Netanyahu was going to be Moshiach ben Yosef, and then Kushner would be Moshiach. Because Kushner was raised around the Rebbe, raised around Netanyahu. You know?
Yeah.
And
yeah, BB used to stay at his house when he'd come visit.
Oh yeah,
and shit,
yeah. They're very tight, you know, because Kushner's Chabad. You know, he doesn't look like it, but it is.
Yeah, and I really think this second term, because I mean, you can't tell me he's not going to win this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it goes to courts, I mean, people are going to riot if it doesn't. Because, I mean, you're going to know the Supreme Court is completely full of shit.
Right. Yeah. And which would you rather have, the left? Because there's going to be riots either way, but which one would you rather deal with, the left or the right?
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
You want to deal with fucking a bunch of stupid commie drug addicts, or you want to deal with, you know what I mean? Or you want to deal with some pissed off, heavily armed, former military fucking, you know what I mean?
Who are going to use discipline and who aren't going to engage in burning shit down.
Yeah.
Even if there was a revolution.
Yeah, no, they're going to like pick their targets and go after their targets.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Yep. They're not going to burn everything down because, you know, like, we built this. This is what we're trying to save.
Right.
They'll be taking control of things and keeping them operating.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's,
you know, I had a buddy ask me, he says, well, if shit hits the fan, right? You know, and things start real bad. He says, what do you know? He's like, don't give me the details, but we're close, you know. But he's like, where are you headed? Oh, and I said, well, I gotta hit Tennessee before I hit. You know, and he's like, Tennessee? What the hell's in Tennessee? I said, think about it. Open up a map of Tennessee, and there's one location in Tennessee that out of every place in the country needs protecting.
Yeah.
Because if that facility gets compromised, we are in deep shit.
I know exactly where you're talking about too.
Yeah, I'll give you the initials. It's the initials for it are NFS.
Yeah.
And that place cannot fall into any enemy hands, especially a foreign government.
Yeah.
It's absolutely imperative. You know, and there's a lot of facilities, you know, not similar in what they do, perhaps, but other facilities that hold incredible importance.
Yeah.
And they must be protected.
Yeah.
You know, at all costs. And, you know, NFS is one of them. There's no way in hell that could be allowed to fall in any enemy.
Yeah.
Can't be allowed.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you, gentlemen, but did you see that link I shared on Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Let me see.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh. Was this what happened today? Did this happen today?
I think so.
In Wauwatosa. That was where that shooting was yesterday.
That's where that mall shooting was.
Yeah.
They caught them 2 dudes with drones.
With drones?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they used drones to track them down.
But yeah, so people know what I'm talking about. Here, I'll actually throw it up on the screen. Well, here, I'll go open the article. It was from the Gateway Pundit. Let me get this thrown up here.
Now, will this be a hate crime? Of course, right?
No. And it's also not going to be pushed. Nobody's going to hear about it in the mainstream
No, it's
media.
on the Gateway Pundit. It's not gonna
exactly. It's on the Gateway Pundit. Nobody's going to hear about it. You know?
Wow.
That's fucked, dude.
There's some plausible deniability there. Or discredibility.
Right.
Yeah. But, so I got it up now. Biden supporter plows vehicle through Trump rally in Wauwatosa. Proud Boys administer aid to the injured. Belligerent Democrat plowed through a crowd of Trump supporters rallying in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin on Saturday, injuring at least one person. I'm going to have to look into this Wauwatosa because the second day in a row, something crazy happening in Wauwatosa. Like
I've never
even heard of Wauwatosa before
same
yesterday.
Here. And I got family in Wisconsin. I never even heard of Wauwatosa.
I lived in Menominee. It was probably way on the other side of the state.
Oh, I know about Menominee.
And it was only for a couple months, but it was nice there. Then it got really fucking cold, and I left.
I got family that has lakefront right across from Madison.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my family's from Wisconsin. I'm a first-generation Arizonan.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Nice.
My mom was born there. My aunts, all that.
Yeah, a buddy might have some land on the Eel River.
Okay.
Is it the Eel River or the Snake River?
Well, this explains
I don't know, but
something. Wauwatosa is basically Milwaukee.
Yeah, basically Milwaukee.
Okay.
But
that explains a lot.
Dude said,
wild other boys.
Yeah, witness says, I was at the Wauwatosa protest today, and a man who was purposely hit by a car while standing next to me. Proud Boys promptly administered first aid until an ambulance arrived. Proud Boys did an excellent job of keeping the peace. Well, you know how those fucking Nazis are,
those
right?
Fucking Nazis, bro.
Always administering first aid and helping people. Jesus.
Disgusting.
Awful.
Just like Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
Just like Rittenhouse.
Fucking animals.
So
excuse my language. These Nazis just get me so riled up.
It is unclear if the driver of the vehicle that plowed through the rally has been on the street. Yeah, shocker.
Hey, I made a joke last night, and I just want to make sure you guys understand the context that it was in fact a joke. On Twitter, speaking of Kyle Rittenhouse, I made a joke on Twitter last night. It was like, I'm not gay, ... But is Kyle Rittenhouse 18 yet? I was joking.
Oh, God.
Oh, that was a joke? I thought you were being dead serious.
No, he likes much older boys. Much older boys. He doesn't go for the young ones.
Yeah. But getting back to this article, another witness said that he was basically telling us to go fuck ourselves and trashing Trump. We initially saw him on the other side of the street. He was talking to people over there, probably saying the same things. He was impeding traffic over there, so he pulled up, did a U-turn, so he was going east on North Avenue, and turned south onto the road where we were. He was in the turn lane, saying all the same stuff, and finally a bunch of people came up to his car. He took off into the crowd. He overturned into the crowd and sped down Mayfair Road. The witness said, wait, Mayfair Road. Wasn't that at the Mayfair Mall where that shooting was?
It was.
So the witness said there was an older gentleman that he helped off the ground. Proud Boys got some GoPro footage. Let me see if I can play this here. So let me back that up a little bit. Was that a? Yeah, it was some darky. Did not know how to throw a punch there. I guess he got arrested right away.
Jesus.
It was a black guy.
Yeah.
Of course.
Could not throw a punch for shit either, could he?
No.
What did they pull him out and try fighting him?
No,
this was just on the street. Separate incident there.
Wait, you mean there's more than one violent black?
Frankly,
we might be exaggerating a little.
Yeah, frankly, I find that hard to believe. I mean, I saw Neil deGrasse Tyson on the TV, and
bro, I read a Thomas Sowell book. Like, this can't be.
All porch monkeys are very, very civilized.
I mean, Walter Williams does my taxes.
Well trained.
Oh, guys, we're one follower away from 300 followers on.
Oh shit!
On DLive, so
glad to do
cool.
This.
Nice.
So that'll probably happen during the show.
We are 1,188 followers away from our goal.
Based.
Very based. Yeah.
89 is 299.
89.
We're going to do this. Tonight's show is brought to you by the letter N and the word porch monkey.
Yep.
And the number 109.
Yeah.
Hoping for 110. Hoping for 110.
109.
Save those ends.
Yeah.
Now, boys, no end towers in the chat now.
And actually, let me I want to look at some stuff here and see if I can find some more stuff about the shooting last night, because this reminded me about that.
So did you guys ever hear my old governor on even coming to the defense of Trump there? The Blagojevich. He's like election corruption. He's like he couldn't believe it. He's like, can't even believe you're asking me about it. Like, of course, he's like, it's as old as the Democrat Party.
Right.
Like, this thing's a time-honored tradition with us, you know. He's like, we all take part, you know. It happens all the time, and it's like, you know, my place is so bad in Illinois that Trump ain't even challenged. Like, they're not even gonna investigate. It's like, dude, you know, the amount of corruption, and it's like I said to my mom, but you know, my mom was like, how the hell did, you know, I said, how the hell did they vote in this Lori Lightfoot, you know, the buck-eyed lady, and you know, and mom's like, who says they did?
Right.
And it's like, man, I think they could blow the lid off of a lot of stuff, and I can't imagine it would be that hard to bust these folks in Chicago.
Yeah.
You know,
You can't tell me that anybody voted for fucking Beetlejuice.
There's no way.
Like, or at least a preponderance. Not even in Chicago would most, you know, more people vote for that thing. You know what I mean?
We had one mayor in Chicago that was a colored, was actually pretty popular, Mayor Washington back in the day. And I could believe that man got the votes. Probably not, but I could believe it.
Yeah, you know, it's at least believable. Like,
right. He was charismatic. He tried to do some good. You know, I don't know that he got much done, but he was pretty popular. And then we had Daley. You know, the Daley families.
Yeah.
Played for ages. Now they're gone. You know,
I gotta check out for a bit, guys. Got to go watch a James Bond movie with my kids.
All right, well,
which one? Which one are you?
What is it? You Only Live Twice? No, is it?
Oh, that's a good.
I think it might be that one. Anyways, I might be back later. Have a good time.
Alrighty.
Take it easy.
See you later, man.
We'll see you later. Yeah, so I'm not seeing a whole lot more. Apparently, it was a white guy in his 20s or 30s. But they didn't say anything about a motive or anything like that. So, 8 people injured.
What if it actually was Sam Hyde?
What was he doing in Wisconsin?
Stopping the steal, bro.
Yep. I seen videos of that. I don't know. Is he to not be NF individual, but the young guy. But he was doing some videos. I guess he's in Georgia, and man, he was pretty fired up. I've never really watched his stuff, but he was pretty fired up, and he was complaining at people saying, "Look, man, we're out here doing stuff. What the hell is everybody else trying to get people motivated?" But
yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of on both sides of the fence on that whole thing. You know, we get out and become targets. You get guys running us over. Next, you know, that's just where it begins, right? Pretty soon, you're gonna have people taking the heat for stuff they didn't do, or people doing it worse. I mean, how long before you get one of those Boston dudes, you know, with the Boston race? You know, somebody with a backpack. You know, these people, like,
yeah.
I don't put
pressure
nothing
cooker
past
bomb,
them.
you mean?
Yeah, something like that. You know, I don't put nothing past them. They've already found explosives, if that's to be believed, and they're not plants or something. But you know, convenient evidence drops or something.
All right, guys, we've officially hit 300 now, thanks to Freedom Hotline.
Ooh.
So, woohoo!
Got a little donation there too, I see.
Yeah, we got some ice creams from Freedom Hotline, a couple ice creams, a lemon from Fat Pig Signals, I like that name. And
couple ice creams, an apple pie.
From Zen Racher, I think. Is that how you say it?
Ask you guys an opinion on something. I'm always full of questions, but just let me know if it bothers you. What do you guys think the police stand in all this?
Oh, that's a good question.
Or is that too generalized? It might be too general.
That's definitely too generalized because each. You're right there, bud.
Yeah, no, I had to lift up my bed to turn my what the fuck is it called? A converter, inverter back on, so I could turn my fridge back on. Yeah. Turns off automatically once in a while. Oh, there's fucking water in my dip. God damn it. Fucking sour cream and guacamole I had with. I thought these are. Who the fuck gives saltine crackers with fucking Mexican food? I thought these were fucking chips.
You got saltines.
Mexican. They give you saltines.
He's like, here, white boy.
Fucking Mexican.
Hey, that's authentic Mexican food.
I thought this was a bag full of fucking tortilla chips last night. Fucking same guacamole and sour cream.
Bro,
they got salsa in here too, and there's fucking. God damn it!
You got trolled by a taqueria.
Oh, you fucking.
You might have to walk in the store and spend $2 and get yourself a bag of tortilla chips, but.
Oh, that's
fucking
just
use
amazing.
saltines. How bad could it be?
Right after you got your freedom burrito or whatever it was, they decided to give you the. Here you go, white boy.
You're like, here you go, cracker. Have some crackers.
Oh, I've never heard of such a thing. I gotta be fair, especially in Arizona. Like,
I got ceviche last night too. I got ceviche.
Oh, ceviche is good stuff.
That's probably why.
Nice. What kind?
Normal shrimp.
Was it scrimp? Yeah, that's good shit.
I'm eating.
I don't even know what that is. What is it?
Ceviche is like
shrimp.
raw
It's like
fish, but it's in citric acids, which kind of like stabilize it and make it like not raw anymore without cooking it.
Yeah, it cooks it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but you were asking about the police stations.
Right, because after all this brutality for months, I figured, are they going to side with us? Because you look at some of these instances, and they seem to be defending Antifa.
And and that's their orders because they take orders from.
Oh, right.
The mayors or whatever.
I think if it gets bad enough, they'll be on it. They'll be on our side if it gets bad enough.
Some of them.
There's no way they won't.
Some of them are probably there, joined the police force for that reason too. So.
Oh, I see.
And I would say it's definitely not a coincidence that they minimize the role of sheriffs and maximize the role of police departments.
That's absolutely true. Yeah. Where have the sheriff departments been?
Yeah, because now they mainly just have the sheriffs run the jails and stuff.
Yeah,
because that's an elected local official.
Right, or it's run by the county or the state.
Well, it's run. Yeah, it's the county sheriff usually, and he's an elected official. So it's who the people chose that they want to run their police department, basically.
And a police chief ain't.
Yeah, and a police chief is an appointed official.
Right.
From the political machine there, from the politicians.
Yep.
So, a little bit different.
Okay, so the saltines aren't that bad with the guac and the sour cream. They're not that bad.
Enjoy your crackers, cracker.
I wonder if they actually made it just run out of tortillas.
I mean, I don't know.
Mexicans running out of tortilla chips?
They just drop them in the they just cut them up and drop them in the
first time in history.
Like,
oh, they do, don't they? They just toss them in the fryer. Yeah.
They just chop them up and toss them in the fryer. So, I've worked in a Mexican restaurant before, so I know.
Did they serve crackers? Did they serve saltines?
I don't think we had crackers in the whole fucking building, to tell you the truth. Well, besides me and a couple others, and the managers and stuff. But.
I mean, I've never heard of that. It's especially in the Southwest. Like, it just seems like. What?
Hey, Dindu Muhammad wants to know if you're gonna wipe your ass with lettuce like a Mexican.
Lettuce.
Bro, he's not wrong. The amount of times that like there's been E. coli scares because of Mexicans like shitting in the strawberry fields, just like shitting in the romaine lettuce fields,
avocados, all kinds.
So many recalls.
The lettuce
sprouts.
Sprouts.
Yeah, it's usually lettuce.
I never knew where that shit came from.
Yeah, it is usually.
I guess.
Yeah,
I never knew that they actually shit in the fields.
Yeah, they straight up just go shit in the field and then go back to picking romaine lettuce. And then I have to throw away my entire stash.
No salad for a week for you.
So gross.
That's why it's important to wash your vegetables.
Yes, indeed.
Mexicans are fucking vile.
Well, the ones that come in and fucking do that.
My dad's
like I said, they're not sending their best. You know, they're not sending their best to come pick the migrant workers aren't exactly, you know, the cream of the crop there. You know.
No.
Yeah.
They're not running multi-billion-dollar cable networks and stuff like that.
No.
Yeah.
What is that guy's Slim something or whatever that guy's was?
I don't know.
He was big. I think he was kind of tied to Bush. Real, super rich. He might be the richest Mexican. Probably outside of the cartel.
Yeah.
Unless, realistically, he might be linked. He might be part of the cartel, bro.
Oh, so yeah, we were talking about the sheriffs though, and the police departments. Yeah. So, like I said, for one thing, so the police take their orders from somebody else versus the sheriff's department, where it's the local people chose that this is who we want to fucking do our thing. Kumi Maine donated 2 lemons, and Mike Niagara donated an ice cream. Thank you guys. But yeah,
I know our police and sheriff butt heads here all the time.
Yeah, and that's why they've like minimized the roles of sheriffs to mainly just run the jails and stuff a lot of times.
Yep.
And
our sheriffs get paid about $10,000 a year less than our sheriff's department.
And that's like I said, that's an elected official that the people chose. You know what I mean?
I have a funny sheriff story about when I was a security guard. You guys want to hear it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, yes.
So I used to work for a company called VetSec, and we had a contract with Pima County to do security for both the sheriff's department, like their headquarters, because they had to have the deputies out on the streets, so they had to hire private security to guard the place.
Yeah.
As well as the libraries. And I used to do the overnight shift for the sheriff's department. And that was a really cool job because you could just sit in the office and just be on your fucking phone the whole time. You just had to get up every 30 minutes and walk around outside, walk around the inside, and then you just sit on your ass for another 30 minutes. But I always was really fucking tired because I'd want to stay up during the day. And then I had to work from like 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Well, one night, I'm really fucking tired, so I'm in the office, and I just put my head down. And, I wake up, and it's 3 hours later. The door opens up. The door of the lobby opens up. Guess who fucking walks through the door? Sheriff fucking Napier walks through the fucking door. He sees me, and he's waves at me. I'm like, oh, and I wave back at him. I, didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, shit. Oh, hope he doesn't think I'm lazy. Well, next fucking day, my boss is the captain's like, can you come into my office? And I'm like, all right. He says, so, why were you sleeping on the job? And I'm like, oh, I was just really tired, sir. Sorry. He's like, the sheriff saw you, right? And I'm like, yeah. It's like, don't fucking do that again. That's my sheriff story.
Oh.
At least it wasn't Arpaio.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Sheriff Joe. You'd have been wearing pink.
You'd have been wearing some pink drawers, bud.
Yeah. Out there in Tent City.
The Tent City.
I don't know about this. What is the meme here?
Oh, that's what Sheriff Joe did.
Arpaio was the sheriff of, I think, Maricopa County Sheriff. I'm not sure, but he used to round up all the he'd round up all the illegals and fucking put them in tents outside of the prison without air conditioning and shit, which is pretty based. Teaches them a good lesson. Come here the right way, or this is what's gonna fucking happen.
And he made all the prisoners wear pink, and he even had chain gangs. The works, man. He was pretty hardcore. In fact, they interviewed him like a couple weeks ago, and they asked him or something if he ever considered apologizing. He said, I'm not apologizing for nothing. He's like, apologizing for doing my job? Nah, not gonna happen. He's a pretty based guy.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking wild.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they moved enough people in to prevent him from getting reelected. But he was he was an all business kind of guy. I don't know if he was a former Marine or something, but he didn't mess around.
Oh.
Yeah, I hope.
N-words, fish and chips.
I would hope that the police side with people that come on. We're nobody.
They're going to. They're taking too much abuse. It's building up. It's building up inside of them. They're taking a shit ton of abuse. They're going to snap, and they're going to be on our side. Simple as. Simple as. Don't think about it too much. You're going to blackmail yourself.
Yeah, they got families too,
Okay, every department's going to be different, and a lot of them have left. And like I said, you can't they're infiltrated too. Like a lot of people became police to be in that position or whatever. You know.
So, yeah, but again, we still have sheriff's deputies and we still have sheriffs, and they have a lot of the armament too. The Pima County Sheriff's Department, like Oro Valley PD, TPD, those guys, Marana PD, Vale PD, those guys don't have a lot in terms of firepower except for the basics. Fucking Pima County, they'll have fucking their SWAT vehicles. The sheriff's SWAT will have fucking M249 saws on the fucking top of their fucking APVs. I'm pretty sure I've heard rumors that they have Browning M250 cals and shit like that. So I mean, I don't even know what fucking Maricopa has, but goddamn, they have all the good shit. So
under the was it the one of those defense acts, the police got and the sheriffs and stuff got access to all kinds of military. So
all kinds of really cool shit.
Yeah. That's why you look at a lot of the sheriffs and stuff. They're wearing military.
Yeah. Well, and it was the police departments that were being, not the sheriff's office, that were getting militarized all through the Bush and Obama years, right?
Yeah, a lot of it. The sheriff's got some, but it was a lot of the police department, especially in the cities.
Like I said, Pima County, like they put all their money in towards weapons and body armor and uniforms. Mm-hmm. But if you ever see their vehicles, a lot of the Crown Vics that the Pima County Sheriff's Department uses, they're beat to shit. Their Tahoes are all right, but their Crown Vics are all beat to shit. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Those fucking cars will go forever.
Jeez, we got Chargers and all kinds of stuff up here.
Yeah.
We got Chargers too. Chargers are more like OVPD, Marana PD, TPD, but the Sheriff's Department still uses a lot of Crown Vics because those things are fucking based.
Boats.
I drive a Crown Vic and I love it.
That's good.
Mine's kind of a piece of shit though. I gotta get detailed.
So the other question, of course, everybody asks is, and even though I'm former military, I've been out long enough, I can't answer. Where do they stand?
The military.
You're kind of breaking up when you said that.
Oh, I said the military. Where do you think they stand? I mean, I don't know. Even though, I've been out for a while now.
No,
the high brass are the high brass are part of the establishment, but like in terms of the guys who actually get shit done, like the grunts, everything like that, those guys are going to be on our side.
I think it's even a little more complicated than that, because like the majority of the enlisted are definitely like on our side, but how many of them will break their training and not follow orders? That's a good question.
Well,
as far as the officers go, that's a little more complicated thing, because I'm sure there's
political
both
appointees.
Right, they're political appointees, and I think it would vary quite a bit depending on which service they're in.
And I wondered if some of the changes in policy that were happening that drove me the hell out of there, the gates, I mean, all kinds of stuff they're letting in.
Yeah.
If that has something to do with it too, like we need to change the tone of the military, change the allegiance.
That's a strong possibility.
They're getting rid of shark attacks.
Yeah.
They're making it to where like your physical training tests aren't going to count against you until 2022. So like your PT doesn't fucking matter anymore. Yeah, they're making it to where your PT tests don't fucking matter until 2 years from now.
See, because at the time I just thought of this stuff as okay, Jews are just trying to weaken our military, but and of course, that's still true.
And that is true.
but does it have maybe more to do with what we're going through now, or maybe will be going through? Like, I can't believe this happened overnight. This was taken. This was planned.
Oh, this was a plan. I mean, Clinton started with it with the don't ask, don't tell bullshit, and
Yeah. Well, I meant the election.
I thought that was Bush.
All this stuff that's happened. No, that was Clinton. All this stuff that happened under Shinseki. The stuff that's going on, though, I mean, like with the election, all this stuff took planning. Like, this didn't happen overnight.
No. They've been building up for this for quite a while.
Right. So they could have, been starting to plan for this, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that it was Trump in there, but even that, technically, I mean, in theory, that's kind of.
In theory, that could even be part of it. You know what I mean? They're like, okay, because I was actually touching upon this, I think, the other day, where like, when I was saying like, so they infiltrated all of our institutions and subverted the hell out of them, so nobody trusts any of our institutions anymore. And Trump was like like I said, you got to separate Trump the man from Trump the symbol, because he's the symbol of the populist, the will of the people, right?
Yeah.
And he's kind of like the last gasp of the American people there. So like, if they can, they'll fucking unfollow me from Macro Artist for some reason. But if they can, it's really demoralizing if they can beat Trump down.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Because it's a symbol of demoralizing and beating down people.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said it's actually less important to the man and what he does and what he's a symbol for. Especially with because these people are really deep into the occult, and that's how they operate.
That's right. Well, I could touch on a little bit of that. My buddy's into that, and he swears that Trump's the last president.
The current pope is supposed to be the last pope too, according to things. So
yeah, it's and he gets into, like I was talking.
How the hell is that supposed to work?
Oh, the numbers and all of that. Oh, he's. You'd have to watch his stuff. It's so complicated, man. There's no way I can do it.
Did you see Biden's lead now is supposedly
6 million
specific number? Yeah,
you gotta be kidding.
Couldn't make that. I posted about it when I saw it. I was like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Yeah, I immediately sent it to a buddy of mine, and I was like, "Yeah, dude, tell me again that symbology doesn't mean anything."
Dude,
and even if it's like not real, even if like occult magic isn't real, like they behave as if it is, so it might as well be. You know what I mean? Like what?
That's been my argument for years too. It doesn't even really matter if it's real. They think it is, and they behave.
Yep. And that's how they operate. Like I was saying with the numbers and shit. Like in my experience, with like it doesn't just happen naturally. They try to think, they act like they think it does or whatever, but like in my experience, when I've tried to do it with like natural occurring shit, it doesn't really happen. But in almost everything they do, the numbers are there, and you're like, okay, so is what lets you know you're onto something pretty much.
Yeah, I could give you a real brief gist. So his numbers, the way he worked it out, there's several people involved, right? You've got Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. Now, before you, like I said, this is where it gets weird. You got Elvis Aaron Presley. You got Donald. What is it? James Donald Trump, and he says that when you go through and you start running the numbers, like each letter represents a number, each this and that, I guess it all makes sense. And it's he is dead set, like these numbers check out every time. It's nuts. And his latest thing, he's doing a live stream last night, the stuff that he's uncovered now, like George Washington, Herbert Walker Bush, George W. Walker Bush, and then Obama, Trump, and you put the names together and do the numbers, and the numbers come out absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And he says these are the only names you can do this with. And I think the number, it was 216 or something. And but then there's like these numbers that he co-assigns to like God and to Satan or Lucifer.
Yeah.
They each have a number. And that's where it comes in with the whole symbology of the Twin Towers, because the numbers for that were the numbers for God. And the numbers for when you do it for the One World Trade Center are the numbers for the devil.
Yeah.
And it just goes on and on, and it's like, holy cow. And so there's a part of me that's like, well, make the numbers fit anything. This, because it does sound a little kooky, but it all adds up. Like, he doesn't do any funny business. I mean, and it's just boom, 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 and it's like, is there something here? Are these numbers? It's the numbers, Mason. Are these numbers like some kind of underlying theme or underlying framework? Or it's so bizarre.
Well, they think it is for sure.
Right. Right. So there is some occult aspects to
There's definitely occult aspects to it. But actually, before we get
into
that...
What about the number stations? Do you think those have anything to do with
I'm trying
this?
to say something.
And that's a genuine question. Do you think?
Because no, I'm trying not to go too far away from what we were talking about before. So I got to be able to interject stuff, but they're gonna keep up with the chat and everything. So what Murray was saying.
Say it.
Yeah. So what Murray was saying was, it's not so much that the Jews want to weaken our military because they use our military to defend Israel. But it's that they want to weaken the old style of military fighting and transition into high-tech drone and electronic warfare things. He's bringing up the point that it's like a lot easier to get people to do it if it's more like a video game. So you're flying the drone from the safety Florida. Of the station or whatever, and fucking taking out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Taking out targets that way,
and that's the industry and defense that Israel wants to dominate.
Yeah, they actually noticed that in World War II that they figured that out when they were dropping bombs on people. It was easier to get them to drop bombs because they didn't see people and stuff. It's just like when you're over your target, the dial lights up and you press the button. You know what I mean? And they could mentally separate themselves from the actual horrors they're unleashing. Yeah.
It's true.
As opposed to having to go in there and shoot people and all this good stuff.
Yeah, it's really depersonalized.
Yeah, but those are all white Germans. They don't count.
Yeah. Well, and talking about that tech thing, I think it was Jamie who took umbrage with the comment I made the first time I was on. We didn't get a chance. and that was that old AH was kind of a pawn, was also a part of this whole thing, and that he had reneged on his word, and that really pissed off the Rothschilds, and they decided that they needed to eliminate him, and they did, got that out of the way, and so they kind of had to wait until they had technology so that they didn't have to rely on a person anymore to do what they did. You could stab them in the back. Now you got robots and drones and AI, stuff like that.
Yeah, a computer does exactly what you tell it to do.
Right. Now,
right. Nothing more.
And I would actually, right, I'd like to know, I think that was huge. Now, I would like to know the counter side to AH, having worked, if that's true. I mean, again, I just
see. I don't actually know. I haven't really heard that what you're talking about. Like, I don't know too much about that aspect of it. So I'm not sure if it was me, but I mean, I am a great admirer, but there's just so much, like, such autistic levels of depth with all this shit. You know what I mean? That it's really hard to.
And the whole side is flooded with so much misinformation too.
That's right.
That
like,
too, yeah.
I've gotten a lot of grief over this comment that I'm about to make too, and that is that Stalin was Jewish, and a lot of people in the alt-right, whatever you want to call it, whatever label, a lot of people will be like, Stalin kicked, persecuted this, yeah, so did others.
Yeah.
And so do Jews. Jews persecute themselves too. They
persecute
their own. And,
more than anyone.
Right, and Stalin isn't even his name. That means steel. His name is Yugoslavia, whatever, however, he's Georgian, right? He's got Jew in his name.
Jew is in his name too.
Right, and his mother is buried where his mom is. She's in a Jewish grave. So it's like, so I'm not saying he's 100%, and he was married to Jewesses. He had Jewish girls. And so is that definitive? I don't know, but
we're actually kind of touched on this dude a little bit before.
Oh, did you?
No, I'm talking before the show tonight in the group chat. We were kind of touched on Brennan O'Connell a little bit, but he points out that one of the things he points out is that the vast majority of Israelis, they came from Russia.
That's right. Well, there's over 2 million there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
there's at least 200 to 300,000 that live there, that work in the tech industry there, that don't even speak Yiddish or Hebrew, that they speak Russian.
Yeah, they speak Russian.
They're not even Jews. They're actually, some of them are not even Jews.
Yeah.
Just there for the cash and they're whatever.
No, I don't necessarily agree with all of his takes on it. but that is
yeah, Brendan's giving me grief because, and we do a lot of the same research. We touched on a lot of the same things. And so, I've sent him stuff, and but he kind of, because of my history and what have you, he lumps me in with a crowd that he vehemently opposed, and he, which I don't consider myself part of anything other than I'm American. I'm a patriot. And he's very, very leery about who he associates with, because the thing to keep in mind about him is he's not small potatoes. He's been in court, like he's presented stuff in evidence in court. He's been in front of the UN. He's not he's hung with some very big crowds. Yeah. And he's not like you or me, or just rockling, or like we rockle around on Twitter and stuff. Like, this dude's mingled, and he's lives a life on the run. He's wanted all over. He's got to live in crazy Malaysia and Indonesia and crazy places to try and escape, death.
Yeah.
And that's, they don't target you with death like that for nonsense.
Yeah.
They just ruin your name. You know,
just basically what I was going. Like, he does have a lot of information that you won't get from other sources, but then he likes to go the other way where it's like, oh, it's not really the Jews, it's all the Russians and da 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 da. You know?
At times, yeah, but he knows that it's the trifecta, right? It's Russia, China, and
well, I would say it's even more than that because the whole Cold War was theater. We were kind of brought that up last night, and I was going to go into it because I got another macro artist thread to
that'd be
to
great,
go through.
Yeah. And, does that cover the that guy, was he a supply sergeant or whatever, who was shipping out the crates on the planes, and he became a whistleblower and was talking? I mean, there was nuclear material in there. There was all kinds
there
of
was
stuff.
the fucking dollar printing plates.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which that's where we got a lot of the money we were paying more than
like, it's too difficult to fucking send you money. You know, that could be tracked or the chip. So we'll just send you plates and you can print it yourself.
And too, within in Afghanistan, I don't know if this is still true, but initially, like, our supplies would come in to Russia. You know, our supplies and stuff, and then get, ride trucks down, get choppered, and then get put on a train and then taken out, put on a chopper, and it eventually make its way into Afghanistan. But there's stuff that goes on behind the scenes, where there's a lot of cooperation that never gets talked about to the public.
Right, and it's important to point out, like, the Bolshevik Revolution was financed by New York financiers.
Yeah,
who were frontmen for the Rothschilds and shit. So
that's where Trotsky came out of.
Yeah, so it's not like
even his real name.
So it's not like everything traces back to Russia, blah blah. They're the ones really in charge, like,
Yeah, I think he's pretty much on the line that Beebe's doing a lot of the shot call, but he mentions Rothschilds. He mentions
he does a bit.
What about Harry Box? I've talked with him a number of times too, and been on his show and stuff. Harry Box, I don't know. What do you guys think of him? He's been doing this for 30 years. You guys.
I don't know enough about him to fully comment, really.
He's a big Rothschild's bankers.
Is he behind the Vox News or whatever?
Yes, but I think so. Yeah.
So you guys want to get into this?
I think he's a fag.
Yeah, well, I don't know that he has anything to do with it anymore, but I think he was one of the founders.
Yeah, I think he was one of the founders, but I think he left or sold it or something like that. But
he's a New Yorker.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and get into this macro artist thread here.
I'm going to take a piss while you get started.
All right. Because this one's, it's nominally focused on the death of General Patton. And so it goes into a lot. But it touches on, and it crosses over into a lot of stuff we were talking about last night with the modern art stuff. And I think that's why he sent it to me, because he liked the way we were kind of flushed it out, because he keeps it really focused, which is what I like about it, because then it keeps our conversation somewhat focused, but then we can flush it out with our with what we know and everything too. So it works out really good, showing all the connections that way. So let me get this pulled up here. And we'll get into it.
Is there anyone else in the call?
Me?
Jamie. Air Raid.
Jamie's there. Okay, Jamie's. Oh, yeah, Air Raid left. Air Raid left. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And Congo is
fucking Air Raid. Spending time with his kids.
How dare he?
He's gonna watch seems like a good new James Bond.
Yeah, how dare he?
All right, so
it's not even the new one.
So getting to the thread. A quick thread about General Patton's death and the spread of communism. If I'm familiar with the general story, Ronald Reagan. All right, I'm not going to get into that. after we're done, I'll drop the link to the thread so that you guys can watch these videos and stuff if you want to.
Oh, did he take on my patent research? I know all about this.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah, I 45th and I both did a lot of stuff on patent.
Yeah, we were in I was in a group chat with him and 45th was in it for a while, and then
yeah.
So that's actually how I know Macro.
Oh, okay. So him and Macro. All right. It's a small world on Twitter.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, there's just like what 7 million people on Twitter, but the cream rises to the top.
That's right.
But so as World War II was coming to a close, General Patton wanted to continue the fight against communism, believing he could crush the Soviets in 6 weeks. Patton believed we had not liberated Europe and had set the conditions for the Cold War. Now I'm actually gonna flush that out a little bit, because General Patton even went as far as to say we fought the wrong enemy in World War II. Communists are the real threat, and
Absolutely.
Yeah, he really wanted to take down Moscow at the time.
He actually was attempting to rearm Germany.
Yeah, to help us fight Russia.
Yep,
exactly.
That's right.
Yeah. And I don't even want to say Russia, like the people in it, the country. It was the communists, the Soviets. Yeah.
And we know who they were.
And we know who they were.
500,000 of them in the Red Army.
Exactly. And I want to back up a little bit before we go back into this, because I was waiting to get it in earlier, and then we moved on, and I didn't get to it. But like, because when you were asking about our armed forces today,
yeah,
and you look like, what is fucking the Vindmans doing in that shit? Having such high positions, they're Ukrainian nationals, and we also know their ethno-religious background. What the fuck are they? Why do they have such power in our fucking military? You know what I mean? How is that?
Good question.
How is that not a major fucking?
They're all brass too, aren't they?
He's NCOs. He's big brass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no NCOs in that with that name, so to speak. Right? It's yeah, and like I said, once you get to a certain point, your orders are signed by the president.
Yeah.
And
Well, except that Vindman was obviously not loyal to the president at all.
Right. Well, his orders would have been signed by Obama, right? What was he? Was he an LTC?
Huh?
Was he an LTC or was he a bird?
I'd have to look it up. I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, he was either in an LTC or. But that's that's presidential. So, and when did he? So he would have got. See, once you hit major total LTC, that's what you get. Because otherwise, it's just kind of motion, right? Second, captain, major. That's all. That's every. If you stay in the job and you do the right, you get the right posts, you're gonna get. After that, it's you got to start smooching the backside.
Yeah.
So I think he was a colonel.
Yeah, I think he's a colonel. Yeah. But hey, I just wanted to bring that in because I hate that son of a bitch. But
oh, he was an LTC, so yeah.
Yeah.
How the hell did he get it?
That's a good question. A really good question.
And where did he went to? Where did he go to? He went to Binghamton.
I can barely hear you, bro.
I need to pee really bad, but I don't want to get up.
Yeah, he went to Binghamton in New York.
Yeah, Binghamton.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like in charge of the whole Ukraine operations and shit.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's fluent. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's from there.
He's
Ukrainian.
Oh, okay. I thought he was just a Ukrainian. I didn't.
No, he's from Ukraine. He was born in Ukraine. That's why I was like, how the fuck is this guy? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I gotta tell you, we've even had some Somalis and some others who have made high-rank NCOs and other positions too. It's not just Ukrainians that now they all have to become citizens.
But still,
I need to piss really bad. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Yep.
But still, I would say that's a definite security risk.
And you still have to strain to understand what the hell they're saying.
Yeah.
They got thick accents and everything.
Yeah, it's a definite. And if they're in charge of where they're from, that's a conflict of interest if I've ever seen one.
Right. Yeah, we got plenty of Russian, Ukrainian, etc. I mean, why aren't they? Yeah.
Right, they should at least not be able to hold. Be limited in how far they can go. I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
it's and his job was what did he do? It was do you remember what was he MI? I think he was.
I think he was.
Was he?
I think so. I got this thread up, so I can't Google it and shit right now. So we'll come back. We'll come back to it. Let's go through this thread first.
Director of European Affairs for the U.S. National Security Council. Yeah, he's got a copy.
Yeah, definitely way more position than I'm comfortable with. All right, lovely. So, getting back to the thread. So, General Patton was angry about the political. General Patton was angry about the political failures of World War II. His intimate knowledge of World War II, coupled with his fearlessness and popularity, made him a threat to many powerful people who wanted him dead. Let me see. Maybe we'll click on this for a second. Patton was going to resign from the Army. Did this pop up? I should have. Yeah. Patton was going to resign from the Army, wanted to go to war with the Russians. The administration thought he was nuts. He also knew secrets of the war which would have ruined careers. I bet.
Guess what else I just found out?
What's that?
Guess where old boy went to graduate school?
Where?
Harvard.
I knew that, and I had
West
forgotten.
Point? Oh.
Harvard.
No, Harvard.
Yeah. I'm finding a lot of interesting... Go ahead, I'm sorry. We get to get off track here, but I'm I found a rabbit hole. Sorry.
Yeah, I went through it when he was testifying.
My connection's a little slow, so you guys are here. You guys are getting my audio a little way late.
Yeah.
Oh.
I dug into that rabbit hole when he was coming up, testifying and getting in the impeachment trials. I was like, who the fuck is this guy and why is he, you know what I mean?
Yeah, where did he come from?
Yeah. So I started looking into it and I was like, holy shit. And I'd have to have it pulled up in front of me to at least have reminders of everything. But there was some shit that really bugged the hell out of me, that's for sure. I remember that.
Well, I can tell you, for 21 years just being an LPC, that's... So he wasn't exactly getting pushed through the ranks real quick. That also leads me to believe he wasn't all that great at a job, which also then raises the question, what the hell is he doing in such an important position?
Well, and yeah, so he's not that high of a... He didn't attain that much rank, but he's incredibly integral to a lot of shit. You know what I mean? More than should be attached to that rank. You know what I mean?
Which, it might be another reason he did to try and keep a low pro and not something. But anyway, I'm thinking of deep. I don't.
Yeah, and maybe they didn't want him so close to the president. You know what I mean? They wanted some layers of separation there for whatever reasons,
you
know.
That's true.
Like you said, if you get high enough, your orders get signed directly by the president. Well, if he's doing some covert shit behind the president's back, he wouldn't necessarily want that. You want a few layers in between there, so it has to filter down, filter up, and it could get blocked somewhere.
I mean, it's just so odd. I mean, usually by like lieutenant colonel or something for the Italian.
Yeah.
Okay. Commander or something. But anyway.
Back to this. So Patton was going to resign from the army. He wanted to go to war with the Russians. The administration thought he was nuts. He also knew secrets of the war, which would have ruined careers. I don't think Dwight Eisenhower would have ever been elected president if Patton had lived to say the things he wanted to say. So I'll just leave that open and come back to this. Tim Wilcox highlights assassination attempts on Patton. And apparently this Tim Wilcox is the man to listen to about this because he's really, really dug into it. But Tim Wilcox highlights assassination attempts on Patton and the powerful people who were threatened by him and his knowledge. Wilcox uncovers Douglas Bazada's, and that's an important name to remember, Douglas Bazada's role in the assassination of Patton. No autopsy, no toxicology. Very suspicious. Robert Wilcox wrote, Target Patton. Dives deeper into Patton's death. He's just introduced in this video here. Then it's like these are each like 2 hour long videos, so there's no way we can go through those on here. But in 1983, Congressman Larry McDonald, General Patton's cousin, exposed the globalist agenda of the CFR and the National Review subversion on the TV show Crossfire with Pat Buchanan and Tom Braden. Maybe this might be short enough I could actually... it's 17 minutes. I'm going to skip it. But... P.S. The scum trying to derail McDonald is CIA agent Tom Braden. Didn't he come up yesterday, Mr. Tom Braden? When we were talking about the CIA, I'm pretty sure he did.
Wouldn't surprise me. That was all OSS.
Oh, no, he definitely did, because I should read the rest of this this one here, because he definitely did. Yeah. The scum trying to derail McDonald is CIA agent Tom Braden. Braden, via CIA, played an integral role in promoting modern art, which serves as a tool of money laundering and cultural manipulation. Braden made lots of money on art. That's why this is where it starts intersecting with what we were talking about yesterday. And this is actually why he gave me this thread, is because it shows that it wasn't just the cultural subversion they were doing, but that this is a lot of the ways that they were using the art to pay for stuff and money laundering, that type of thing. Including probably the assassination of General Patton. Who, General Patton was probably one of the greatest heroes America's ever had. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Just want to throw that out there. About 4 months later, McDonald died in a plane crash. They love these fucking plane crashes, right? A flight CIA warned ex-President Nixon not to board. Connie Chung of NBC states CIA warned Nixon not to board the flight on which Larry Patton McDonald was killed. This is only 53 seconds, so I can't play this one.
The official Soviet news agency TASS today reported that former President Richard Nixon was scheduled to fly on that ill-fated Korean jet that was shot down by the Russians. But TASS says Nixon canceled his reservation at the last minute because the CIA warned him against taking the flight. Because the CIA warned him against taking the flight. Because the CIA warned him against taking the flight.
All right, that's enough. Oh, and he didn't even mention that in the thing. Shot down by the Russians, huh? Very interesting here. So, back to General Patton. More info from Robert Wilcox, interviewed by Dave Williams. Wilcox introduces Douglas Bazada, who was linked to Patton's death. Bazada, an OSS elite officer who was both a sniper and boxer, later became an artist. Wilcox digs deeper into Douglas Bazada's diaries. Bazada was at the end of his life and had suffered a stroke, which enabled Wilcox to establish a close relationship to him. Oh, yeah, apparently this is how Wilcox started finding out all this information. Because after Bazada had this stroke, kind of formed a relationship with him, and they started telling him all kinds of stuff.
That's
Wilcox,
fucked up.
Yeah. Wilcox goes into why such a popular general's death was so unscrutinized and all the power brokers who could have been ruined by the information Patton knew. That's going to be an interesting video. Dale Williams interviews Robert Wilcox. Wilcox explains Patton hated the Russians and was aware of all the World War II atrocities. Patton was also aware of the Allies' blunders, which resulted in many additional deaths. Patton could expose it all. Patton was a truth teller and knew powerful people wanted him dead. The Stop Patton movement, withholding gas from the army, extended World War II and led to the Battle of the Bulge and countless unnecessary deaths. Yeah, and I had definitely heard about that one, that like, because Patton was so gung-ho against the Russians and they didn't want him doing that, like, World War II could have been over a hell of a lot faster. But they were just standing in Patton's way left and right.
Yeah.
Which led to who knows how many more people fucking dying. But Stalin wanted Patton dead. That's no surprise there. Wilcox's research indicates Patton's death was a coordinated effort between Bazada, Wild Bill Donovan. That's a name I haven't heard in a little while. Used to come up quite a bit. NKVD, CIC, Counterintelligence Corps, etc. Stephen J. Skubik tried to stop the plan but was thwarted. Skubik went on to write a book about Patton's death. Unfortunately, the book, Death, the Murder of General Patton, is not readily available in print, but you can visit his website. Details of Patton's death. Truck pulls in front of Patton's car, causing a low-speed accident in which General Patton is the only one injured. All accident reports disappeared. No autopsy. Previous assassination attempts using a scythe, getting back to the symbology and occultism, you know.
So, if you check the group chat there, I posted some of the
I can't. Well, I got this up.
I say I got some. I posted a bunch of stuff that I had.
Well, here, I can do it like this. Let me see. But yeah, if you want me to throw stuff on screen, can't really do it through DM. No, there's a lot of stuff there too.
Yeah.
I'll
did some digging of our own too.
Right.
It's the same conclusion. It's the same individual.
Mm-hmm.
So it just backs up what you're saying.
That's one thing that you can. That's one way you can know the truth, is if fucking you get there from many different routes.
That's right. Know. Yep.
But General Patton's death continued. Previous attempt by Polish Spitfires. Earl Thompson, the truck driver who caused the accident, vanished to the UK before his own murky death. Bezzata used a special rifle firing a bolt-like projectile. Yeah, because there's no the bolt-like projectile. There's no ballistics, right?
Yeah, and I imagine you'll get to.
Well, it doesn't look. Yeah, it just looks like looks like shrapnel instead of a bullet.
Yeah.
It didn't work. He lived. I'm sure you'll get to that.
Yeah. Bezzata claims he shot General Patton in the face. Patton had a big gash on his face. Patton's car presented to the public is a fake with a filed-down VIN number. Wilcox explains the cover-up. No autopsy, missing reports, etc. Skubik's book has excellent insights. Oh, there's the book, so that's cool. Obviously can't go through the whole book right now. Just in case Douglas Bezzata's Jedburgh stories seem beyond belief, here is his obituary. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Douglas DeWitt Bezzata, artist and OSS officer, dies at 88. Douglas DeWitt Bezzata, who served with the United States Office of Strategic Services behind enemy lines in France in World War II and later became an artiste, died on July 14th in his home in Chevy Chase, Maryland. He was 88. The death of Mr. Bezzata was belatedly reported to the New York Times. He was described as a red-haired soldier of fortune called All Colonel's Sugar. In a 1978 book, Honorable Men by William E. Colby, a former director of Central Intelligence, and Peter Forbath. Mr. Bezzata had already served in the Marines and was a skilled boxer and marksman, and became an Army officer in 1942, and also joined the OSS, the front runner of the Central Intelligence Agency. Went on to be one of a daring group of about 50 American parachute officers who volunteered for what Mr. Colby described as a highly hazardous mission in Nazi-occupied France, Belgium, and the Netherlands. Other members of the group include Stuart Alsop, later a noted journalist, and Mr. Colby himself. Very interesting there. Was OSS agent Douglas Bezzata using art as a payment method for covert ops? Was Bezzata involved with the JFK murder? The OSS and CIA using art as a tool of money laundering and cultural manipulation is well documented. See last night's show. Among this other stuff that he brings up. Eva Cockcroft, 1974 Art Forum, or Francis Saunders Stoner. Now, look at this fucking art.
Oh, yeah. When you get after the show or whatever, drop a link to the book.
Huh?
Drop the link to the book in the chat when you get done.
Yeah, I'll drop the link to the thread, and I'll drop the link to the book.
All right.
But, I mean, look at this art. This is exactly what we were talking about yesterday, that, you know, nobody's actually going to seriously buy this shit for fucking hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. Huh?
What is that? Is that like a crab or something?
Fuck, I don't know.
It does look kind of like a crab. Yeah, I see that.
The little eyes and the little... Like,
yeah.
The white underbelly.
Like
Yeah.
Maybe it was. Who knows?
Here.
So they were just like, put some shit on. Yeah, put some shit on a canvas, and we'll buy it from you for fucking, you know.
I mean, I could literally do this, and I have no talent at anything like that, like drawing or art or anything like that. I could do this.
Well, I think this is that's kind of the point, is that like this is not good art, but
no.
They can be like, oh, okay, we're buying this art from them while they're paying for an assassination or whatever, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they're just telling them, yeah, whatever, just paint whatever, and we'll buy it from you for,
So do people actually, like, this is the style you talk about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, idiots.
Yep. Bazada sold his art to European royalty like the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, a.k.a. Edward VIII, the Naughty King, or Traitor King.
Lovely.
Edward was a complicated character descending from both English and German nobility who eventually abdicated the English throne. I'd even go so far as to say that English and German, well, the reason for that is because they are the same. But, were we talking about the Habsburg jaw the other day? With the inbreeding, and we were talking about old Ollie there.
Oh, Sammy
yeah.
Davis? Yeah. Well, Sammy Davis, he had that same inbreeding jaw. Because the Habsburgs is, the Windsors are Habsburgs, and so when it says German and English nobility, well, that's because it's the same family. But we could go into that someday, probably not today. Because that'd be a long conversation too, but that would be an interesting one to do.
Yeah, I'm not even that well versed. I kind of just stuck straight. I didn't get into all that too much. I touched on it. Can't help but touch on it because it comes up. But yeah, I'd like to know more. If someday you want to go into a discussion, put together, I'd like. I probably learned a lot myself.
And was it Macro? It was somebody in that group said that the extensive work on the genetic lines and stuff too. So I'll either have them come on or have them send me some stuff about it when we will cover that, because that would be a good thing to do.
Yeah. So now, this family, is this the current family, the Windsor line? Are they the ones that took on after the Cromwell situation? All of that?
Yeah.
And that's that same continuous line?
Yeah. It's the Saxe-Coburg Gotha.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they got their little David cube under the throne.
Yeah. Which that's a whole another can of worms that.
Yeah.
That is very definitely related to all this, for sure. But
it is. It's a little more esoteric.
Yeah. That's why this is probably a good starting point to get from, before we go deeper into the. So that's why this CIA connections with modern art and stuff is a good starting point,
I got to tell you, even having, I was only there for a couple of years, but so I didn't know anything, but I've been shocked at how much of a connection that the agency actually played. I was unaware of some of it. It's frankly pretty disturbing. I hate to think of ever having even walked in that building. It's just. I could see why people give me the sideways look. It's like there is some real shady stuff that went on. It's but it's again, to get into that world, it's so compartmentalized.
Right. Yeah, but that's why I'm saying this is good. That's why I think this is a good starting point, because it's not.
Yeah.
It's really easy to show what happened back then and it's leading up to what is happening now.
Yeah.
And so from there we can go backwards and show how it got to there.
I had no idea they were using art like this. I thought, it's mostly diamond. I didn't know it branched really that much into art. It blew my mind.
Oh yeah, art's a great. Think about it.
Does that still go on today with the art?
I would imagine so. Why would they stop?
It's true if it works, right?
Yeah. I could get into some personal stories, but that might get me in trouble, so I don't think I'm going to. But I would say that there are definitely some things involved in the art world today that they still use that as a technique for sure, I'm sure.
Wow.
But so moving on.
So many fronts. It's like a spider web, man.
Yep. Moving on. Bozzatta's other noble patrons included the Prince and Princess of Monaco. Well, I mean, all the royal families in Europe are the same family, so that's not a surprise, but yeah.
From my understanding, that extends to even some places in the Middle East too.
Huh?
That there's some. From what I understand, I don't know if this is true, but that it extends to some of the families in the Middle East, like the Jordan.
It does. It does. And we'll get into that eventually.
Oh boy! All right.
Not tonight, but that'll come up.
Oh, Michael and Aaron just left the Stop the Steal protest in Atlanta.
Oh, interesting.
Oh shit.
Cool.
Is that people you know, or?
Yeah, they come on the show.
Maybe they'll.
Oh. Wow.
You know, Aaron, the girl that comes on, and then her husband.
Oh yeah. She was the real firebrand.
Yeah.
She seems like the type that would be like the Alex Jones at the protest with the megaphone.
Yeah, I'm sure that was interesting.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, so getting back to this, Bozzatta's other noble patrons included the Prince and Princess of Monaco, Rainier III, the House of Grimaldi, and U.S. actress Grace Kelly. As we'll get into that someday, not today, but that's a whole nother interesting story there with Grace Kelly. But
yeah, that's not her real name.
No, it's not. Monaco was a haven for gambling, shipping, and tax evasion, and accordingly became a hotbed for organized crime. Which is why so many James Bond movies from the time period all took place. Monaco was commonly featured in James Bond and Mission Impossible and shit like that. According to the 1969 Schenectady Gazette article, Princess Grace invited philosophical painter Douglas Bozzatta to exhibit his daubs in the Monte Carlo casino at the height of the summer seasonal wagering. Carol Channing told a friend, "I'm speechless." Mm-hmm.
Speechless Jesus.
Right. Because, of course, that's how they sell. Go back to the psyops we were talking about. That's why they got to have Carol Channing and Grace Kelly were like, "Oh my God, this is so amazing!" Because anybody looks at it like this is crap, but oh my God, these fucking movie stars, they know better than we, right? But
I think I might have scared Michael and Aaron away from the show on accident in the chat. Misspelled an important word in the worst way possible.
Uh-oh. Let me see. Now I got to see what you're talking about.
I don't think they're going to come on anymore.
Jesus. I don't think that would do it anyway, though.
Fucking autocorrect.
But if your autocorrect changes it that way, that's not.
They're gonna come on here just to give me shit.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to what we were talking about.
We already know. Self-proclaimed pervert.
Bozzatta also showcases art at the Maltzon Gallery in London in 1969. The gallery printed a catalog entitled Recent Paintings by Bozzatta for the exhibition February 24th through March 15th, 1969. The Maltzon Gallery was opened in London in 1966 by Imre von Maltzon. Imre, born in Menton, France, educated in Gordonston in Scotland, wrote his autobiography in Austro-German as an Englishman. Wait. So, there's an interesting... He was born in France, educated in Scotland, and called himself an Austro-German. A Lifetimes in Commentaries. So, Maltzahn are nobility from Mecklenburg and Pomerania, which first appears in records with Bernardus de Mulson as arbitrator in Isfried's partition treaty of 1194. Their families are often mentioned in the Ratzeburg tithe register as vassals of Ratzeburg bishop. I have their website. Beyond his royal patrons, Bozzato was also painted by the surrealist artist Salvador Dali in a portrait entitled Homage to Bozzata, in which the former OSS Jedburgh was likened to Don Quixote. He said he couldn't find the Dali painting. And that was one that...
Fucking Steve. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, man. I'm sorry.
But last night, I didn't bring up Salvador Dali, but he was sitting there in the front of my head because he plays a lot of it. He had some crazy shit with him, too. But Bozzato gave up his successful painting career to pursue winemaking and open a Maryland pheasant hunting preserve.
Was Dali a Jew?
Huh?
Was Salvador Dali?
That's it. What was that? Was Salvador Dali what?
A Jew.
Yeah, he was a dude. Yes, a dude. Yeah. Oh, a Jew. Oh. I don't know. He was weird. He was a weird motherfucker, though. I know that.
He definitely was. I had to look into that more.
He was one of the. I think he's like the only modern. Yeah. Keep going. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent.
Dali might deserve a whole show to himself someday. So
really?
Cause there's some shit with him for sure. Yeah. There's.
That's like I said. I'm almost completely ignorant of the art. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Know anything about it.
Yeah, Dali was a character, that's for sure. Anyway, Bozzato gave up his successful painting career to pursue winemaking and open a Maryland pheasant hunting preserve. Are you fucking kidding me? So he made all this money. Like, this shit is just so, it's like unbelievable. You know what I mean? Or I'm going to retire and hunt pheasants. He makes
a pheasant hunting reserve to bring in the elite so that they can go out and hunt pheasants and talk shop.
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And
like the falconer that I was talking about last night.
And if somebody needs to get shot in a tragic hunting accident, you know.
Don't you blame Mr. Dick Cheney on Oh. You know, it's been some years, but I'll admit it. I used to get Christmas cards from Dick Cheney.
All right.
Yeah. I got to put on some kind of list or something. I don't know what it was, but yeah, for like a couple of years, I got Christmas cards.
So it was like an automated thing.
Probably, I would think. Yeah, I don't know if maybe
he ended up on his Christmas card list.
Somehow.
I mean,
there's probably 1 million people on there, but yeah.
Okay, exactly. I'm really sorry for going off on a tangent, but I think we can all recognize how fucking weird it is that for the longest time, even when that Christian Bale movie about Cheney came out, and he literally called Cheney the devil, and all the liberals were like, "Oh yeah, Dick Cheney's the devil." But now Joe Biden makes Dick Cheney his secretary, his supposed soon-to-be Secretary of Defense. The liberals are completely quiet. They don't even talk about it.
Did Biden say that?
Wow. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Biden's going to make him. Biden's claiming he's going to make him Secretary of Defense.
Dude, yeah, if you see his fucking list of people he wants to put in, like, maybe I'll dig that up tomorrow.
The chief neocon makes a return.
Yeah, like I said, maybe I'll pull up Biden's bullshit list.
So I would assume Bolton's going to be on there again, huh? What about old Wolfowitz?
Actually, I don't think Bolton's on there. Wolfowitz, I'm not sure about, but
that's something else.
Yeah, pretty much all the worst people that you could imagine being in the positions you wouldn't want them in.
No.
Yeah.
So, and nobody in the left is calling out that he's got Cheney on there?
Of course not. Those people are fucking idiots. They don't call out anything. If they did, they'd be on the right.
Oh, that's insane.
Ugh.
You're gonna bring back W, and they're all gonna love him. We're gonna have George W. Bush as Secretary of State. Everybody will start cheering on the left.
Dude, they all love fucking Romney now.
You gotta be kidding me.
Because he stood up to Trump.
Yeah, Trump has really ruined these people, dude.
Like, you cannot, you can't make this shit up, dude.
No, it's blowing my mind. I live in a cave, man. I'm so like, this stuff's blowing my mind.
Well, let's get back to the Bozada here, because this gets pretty interesting. So after he did his little Maryland pheasant hunting preserve, in the 1980s, Bozada resumed overt government employment as a special assistant to Secretary of the Navy John F. Lehman Jr., who was also Princess Grace's cousin. Far out there, huh? A deeper dig into Lehman reveals some alarming connections, such as Henry Kissinger, PNAC, the 9/11 Commission, McCain, and Romney.
Wait a minute now. Hold on a second here. Stop the tape. Stop. I'm gonna pull a Rush Limbaugh. Stop the tape. Stop the tape. What did you just say Lehman is the cousin of a princess?
Lehman of Grace Kelly. He's a cousin of Grace Kelly.
Of Lehman Brothers?
No, Lehman.
The Jew L-E-H-M-A-N.
Oh,
I thought you meant the Jew. Oh, okay, I thought you meant the Jew Lehman Brothers. I was like,
well, that's
oh my
how they
gosh,
spell it too, isn't it? L-E-H-M-A-N.
Yeah.
So yeah, it probably is that family. I don't know.
Holy!
I hadn't made it through all this whole thread. We're in territory that I hadn't even got to yet.
Wow.
So, I'm pretty sure it is Macro Artist. If not, it's somebody in that group chat. I'll ask about to get some of the genealogy materials, because you'll find out it's not too many degrees of separation between all these people for sure.
Wow. Sorry, go ahead. Sometimes my mind just goes,
In addition, he founded a consulting company. They love their consulting company with defense contracting clients. Yeah. Of course he did. Lehman is quote. Oh, this is the guy who said this. Power corrupts. Absolute power is kind of neat. Now I remember who this guy is.
Oh.
It's been a while since I've thought of him. In a 1991 Conversations with History interview, Lehman discusses the NWO and the U.S. role at 25-minute mark. Lehman also notes the professors who intellectually influenced him. Robert Strauss Hoop, Hans Kohn, Bill Kintner, James E. Doherty. Let's dig into them.
So we got Jews.
Of course. Are you surprised?
Well, I just saw you scroll past there. I saw the name Kissinger, too. That's a...
Yeah, I said that earlier. Well, they were talking about Lehman, who Bozada was a special assistant to Secretary of the Navy, John F. Lehman. Lehman, who's Grace Kelly's cousin, and he has connections to Henry Kissinger, the PNAC,
9/11 too, huh?
Yeah, wow. PNAC, the 9/11 Commission, McCain, and Romney.
Oh, cleaning this up is gonna. It's just gonna be a lot
of.
Jeez.
Lehman also notes professors. Oh yeah, we said that. So, Robert Strauss Hoop is a professor and U.S. ambassador, influenced by the Edwardian era academic Halford Mackinder. Robert believed in a one-world government, of course. Mackinder is regarded as the founder of geopolitical theory and believed whoever controlled Eastern Europe controls the world. Which actually does make a lot of sense in a lot of ways. Halford Mackinder, who outlined the modern plan for global domination, was involved with other prominent Fabian figures. So we're touching on the Fabian Society here. Sidney and Beatrice Webb in the early 1900s through the Coefficients Dining Club. There's an interesting group there, too. Continuing Mackinder's interest in global domination, Robert Strauss Hoop founded the Foreign Policy Research Institute. Their members include Hans Kohn, Bill Kintner, Kissinger, Schlesinger, who was the CIA director from 1971 to 73, and Lawrence Krauss. Hans Kohn was involved in the Palestine-Israel conflict since the Balfour Declaration. Well, of course he was, right?
Yeah, Kohn, don't forget who Beatrice Webb was. You know who she is, right?
Yep. Kohn, 1891 to 1971, is generally regarded as the founding father of modern Anglophone academic research on nationalism. Bill Kintner, another layman influence and FPRI member, is the founder of the Philadelphia School. Kintner was influenced by the Swedenborg Church. Interesting. Church in New Jerusalem. Remember we were talking about New Jerusalem the other day, too? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I did dig something up on that. There is a New Jerusalem in Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah. About 40 miles outside of Moscow, yeah. Swedenborg is a really interesting guy himself. Emanuel Swedenborg teachings have mystic Masonic origins and connections to Mormonism.
It all comes together.
Yeah. Emanuel Swedenborg, Bill Kintner's spiritual inspiration, was a mystic who blended Plotinus, Neoplatonic philosophy with Christian theology. He believed the second coming of Jesus was revealed to him and he could directly contact spirits.
Real quick, do you use Parler at all?
No.
Oh, there was a question.
Yeah, no, I went to sign up for Parler and they wanted a phone number and I gave them my Google Voice number and they didn't want that, so I said fuck that. And and I just deleted the app. And that same day, I was looking at One American News Network on YouTube. All right, now their channel pinned whatever that you see when you go to the channel is about this freetalk.app. So I signed up there instead. So... And I recommend everybody else does too, because all you need to sign up is an email. They don't ask you any fucking questions. You just sign up with an email, and they say that you can talk about whatever you want. So probably can't post porn, which I'm perfectly okay with. But other than that, you know.
What was that app called again?
freetalk.app. Let me finish this thread real quick, and then I'll put links in the chats and stuff. This is the last post in it. Robert K. Wilcox research links Douglas Bazada to General Patton's murder. Bazada resurfaces in 1969, selling art to Princess Grace. Bazada resurfaces again in the 80s. A special assistant to John F. Lehman Jr., who was Princess Grace's cousin. Lehman also links to PNAC 9/11 neocons, and here we have this lovely chart. Okay, yeah, it is Macro that does the genealogy, because here's a nice example of it, of the connections and stuff.
He's Italian, right? I think I saw him speak in Italian.
Who?
The macro artist.
He's American.
Is he? I thought I saw him speak in Italian. You might just know it. Or maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
I just wonder. Might. In that he seems to know so much about you.
Mm-hmm. But
you guys want to hear a statement from the late Colonel Jeff Cooper? It's pretty white pilling if you want to listen to it. The rifle itself has no moral stature. Since it has no will of its own, naturally, it may be used by evil men for evil purposes. But there are more good men than evil. And while the latter cannot be persuaded to the path of righteousness by propaganda, they can certainly be corrected by good men with rifles. Stated by Colonel Jeff Cooper, the firearms pioneer in both firearms training and firearms design. All right, I just saw that here on my timeline. Thought you guys might want to hear that.
Nice. Now we got all quiet. What were we? Oh yeah, I was gonna put the links. So let me do that.
Yeah, I was like,
here's the book. Well, it's a stupid Twitter link, but still it works. I'm gonna do better than that. Here, I'm gonna fuck Twitter. I'm gonna click it and then put the link to the PDF of the book. There we go. And I'll put the link to Macro Artist Red there too.
So what's your solution, since we kind of touched just briefly though on technology and alternatives? What do you think the solution is for these like big tech companies? How do we solve? They're a huge threat.
They definitely are. I'm actually working on what I think will be the solution to it, and that's decent. It's the same solution to everything. Decentralize everything.
Yeah.
Everything needs to be in a decentralized fashion. Sometimes it's coming
like
weak.
Breaking up Google and stuff, like breaking companies up in smaller ones?
No, I'm talking about. All right. Instead of big tech's too big to fight directly. Instead of fighting them directly, we have to. What's it called? We have to make them obsolete by creating better systems. And that system has to be.
Do that?
Huh?
How do you do that with Google? Are they gotten too big?
Yeah. Well, you can't fight them at their own game. You gotta. Yeah. Well, I'm kind of working on the final solution for big tech. Because I'm developing a system that's completely decentralized. Can actually replace all of these big tech stuff. So.
Because I mean, Google gets the big advantage because being Jews, they get all the advertising. The Jew companies then do business with Jew buddies and.
Yeah, it's because they pretty much have a monopoly on internet advertising.
Yeah.
Is the big thing. And then they have the government contracts, too.
Yeah, and you look at the alternatives, and you got, like, DuckDuckGo, that's too. And then you got, like, I mean, it just...
Right.
There's no way.
But that's just the search, anyway. So they can manipulate search results, but you can use alternative search engines. I don't recommend DuckDuckGo either. That's like...
No, that's the Jews.
When they start saying, okay, this is the official fucking replacement for this, I doubt those just as much as, like when you're asking about Parler, I'm like, I don't think that's going to be any better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they start wanting all this information. It's like, no. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, look at them DNA companies. Everybody's always like, you should get your DNA. I'm like, are you out of your mind?
Right. Like, I know my family history. We kept track of our history, through family Bibles and whatnot.
Right.
I don't need to send. Yeah, I don't need to let you guys add my blood to your database. What was Wojcicki from the CEO of YouTube? Her sister runs 23andMe.
Yep.
So
that's right.
Yeah, I'm not sending in my blood.
Fucking spooky, dude.
And that shit goes all back to Israel to get tested, doesn't it?
Probably. Wouldn't surprise me. And then Ancestry.com is run by
Where
the
else
Mormons.
would it go?
Which the Mormons are a whole
Oh, they do
ball of
Ancestry.com?
wax. Yeah, they're a whole nother ball of wax.
Oh. Because I know they have meticulous records on Ancestry.
Well, yeah, and it started because the Mormons keep very meticulous genealogies themselves, you know? Yep. And so that's how the website started and shit. Which...
And, I just real quick, like, the parallels between the Mormons and the Muslims, like the foundings of their... Joseph Smith kind of got started not all that different than Muhammad. Kind of a crackpot, no future, this and that, until he met the right woman, right? And next thing you know, all this, I got golden tablets,
Right.
And it's...
Can I see the golden tablets? No, because after I copied them down, the angel took them and they ascended into heaven.
Yeah.
Start your own big tech, bigot.
Yeah, that's I said the same thing to Stefan. It wasn't, I don't know, like a few months back or something. I was like, just start your own tech company, big boy. Start your own YouTube. He didn't like that.
Well, I actually do.
That's what you told us.
I've actually been working on that for the past few years. So I've actually been working on that for the past few years, and I have a system that could actually do that.
Walrus, you gotta see this shit. It's so fucking
But I mean, that was like every time people would get banned, that's what Stefan would say. Well, start your own alternative. He was all big tough guy in that. Then he got
and then he's crying and shit about it, like
yeah. And now what's the first fucking line on his Wikipedia page? White nationalist.
Is it?
Or white supremacist, whatever. It's one of the two. Yeah, I mean, last I saw it like a month or two ago. First fucking line of his Wikipedia is white nationalist.
Let's go ahead and look
that up. Like, dude, for all that counter signaling, where did it get you?
Let's go ahead and look that up here.
Yeah, that's what you get, Mr. Jew Molyneux.
Right?
I posted several videos of him admitting his Jewish roots and his Jewish heritage.
There you go, guys. There's this
Canadian far white. Stefan Basil Molyneux is a Canadian far-right white nationalist, white supremacist, banned YouTuber and podcaster who's best known for his promotion of conspiracy theories, scientific racism, eugenics, and racist views.
Eugenics? They hit him as a eugenicist.
They hit with everything.
Oh, yeah.
Every single thing.
Every
Eugenics, fucking supremacy. Conspiracy theorist.
Oh my goodness!
That's why you notice.
They completely ruined that man.
You notice what I use as our theme song? Like, ain't gonna be here long.
Yeah. And he's one of the tribe. I mean, maybe he doesn't practice, but he has his parents. So.
But yeah, wasn't he like half or something like that?
Well, see, here's the confusion. In one clip I had, he says it was his mother or something. And then in another clip, he says it's his dad.
I don't know.
So,
I watched him for about a week, and I got sick of his fucking bullshit. Like in 2013 or something. So.
You know, and it's just ideological.
His hot takes on Twitter were entertaining a lot of times.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, of course, everybody wants non-aggression principle. I mean, duh. You know, it's just like, it was just so dumb. I don't know. It just pseudo-intellectual stuff. And he'd go on and on about that's not an argument. Then he'd turn around 2 seconds later and gaslight somebody.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, okay. That's not an argument either, asshole.
You guys remember the Molyneux copy pasta where he's like, beat me in a debate? I don't think so. I've been doing professional debates or whatever.
No way.
But what are debates since I was 12 years old? Then we kept changing it. Like, I've been a shit poster since fucking. Oh.
I got yelled at by him one time because of that stream where he cursed somebody out who sent him $2. Well, he didn't curse at him, but he's like, if all you got to send me is $2, then you obviously are really poor and need the money more than I do. All this, and so the $2 thing became a big meme on his show. It's like people would put it in chat, get all pissed, and I tweeted it at him one time, and he chewed me out. I was like, oh wow.
I want my $2.
But, yeah. I was like, he was asking for money or something in Twitter, you know, and I was like, well, I'd help you out, but all I got's $2, you know, and I don't know if he lost it. I triggered him.
Yeah. And it was funny, like, he was so full of himself. And then,
was it $1?
It was $1.
Murray says it was $1. Okay, yeah, it was $1 then. Yeah, it was something like that. It was like, he flipped out, man. It was pretty funny. So I misremembered it a bit.
It was just funny how full of himself he was, and then as soon as he got deplatformed, I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe he thought everybody was gonna follow him somewhere or something, you know. But
yeah,
you never hear about him anymore now.
No, he's ghosted.
Yep.
I wonder how he's doing financially. I mean, his wife worked, right?
I mean, because like some people, like Red Ice, you know, they got gassed, and she's still here, but it didn't slow them down hardly at all. You know what I mean?
Well, my boys, I'm big fans of Rick Wiles and True. I like them guys a lot, and they've been I mean, they've been at it for over 20 years. They've been gassed on everything. They still keep trucking, doing their thing, you know.
Yeah. Is Stefan on D-Live? He's not in the top 10. Yeah, he's not in the top 10 of D-Live streamers. I saw that list.
Oh, I didn't even know he was on D-Live.
Ethan Ralph posted the list of top 10 D-Live streamers, and had 60 viewers. We've had more than that on this channel.
Ouch.
Like the first week we started.
Ouch. I mean, not everybody's going to be Medicare, but holy cow, 60 viewers.
Right. Because like I said,
when you're Molyneux, you know, I mean, that dude's a millionaire. I think you'd be able to draw.
I think that he really hurt himself by like signaling so hard against like white collectivism, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think more people would like give him credit or watch him or give him the benefit of the doubt if it wasn't for that. Even if he's not like for it, you know what I mean?
Right.
I think he fucked himself by like gatekeeping so hard on it.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know what I mean, like when we're in these kind of times, you gotta kind of make some strange bedfellows or some allies with people you know,
absolutely.
You might not 100% agree with, right? But it's the goal. It's important. You know, after we solve that problem, we can work on our differences or separate or whatever. Let's get there first, right?
Right. Yeah. Like you're on the same side as us, bro. You might like, you know. I don't know what you're thinking.
That was bad. Yeah, that was bad. Yeah, that's you know, and
We can have acceptance without inclusion.
There you go. Yeah, that's a great way to say it.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, we said that was a great way to say it.
We can have acceptance without inclusion. If you're gay, I don't hate you for who you are. That's your decision.
Well, that's a whole different conversation.
But don't expect me to respect you for it.
I really think that's a mental illness.
If you're nice to how about this? If you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. Yeah, well, if you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. How about that? If you're black, I'll respect you for who you are. Just understand, I still see that you're different than me, and I'm not going to include you in certain parts of my life. But I will be more than happy to include you in things that are appropriate. Like
it's not like you're going to slam the door in his.
Of course, you're more than welcome.
You're not going. If you're if you're walking into a business,
but you can't date my daughter.
The door open for.
Yeah, you can't date my daughter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
No.
Absolutely.
None of that.
None of that.
But help yourself to the fucking barbecue, man. If you want to show me some good ways of smoking some meat, hell.
Yeah, I know you love pork. Get over here, bro.
Bring the fried chicken, man. Dude, by all means, bring as much as you want, man.
Well, that was.
I know you're gonna tell some funny stories.
All that was invented by white people, so.
Yep.
It's just Southern stuff, like fried chicken was invented in Scotland.
So was Molyneux probably the biggest or the most high profile of the quote right wingers that show it? I think Molyneux was probably the biggest.
I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe
he's up there.
I wouldn't even call him right wing. He seems like a fucking
he's libertarian.
Yeah. One of them smug, but I guess he's more classical liberal or whatever the fuck. Just one of these smug fucking wannabe intelligentsia assholes. Right.
Yeah.
He's not mental masturbation is what he is.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, and he's got people that are he kind of reminds me of a less eloquent Jordan
the M word.
He kind of reminds me of like Jordan.
Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, similar.
Very similar kind of vein there.
Yeah.
He actually bugs me.
I can use big words.
Jordan Peterson bugs me all to hell, but
Molyneux
bugs me even more. He actually just came out because he got out of rehab or whatever the fuck.
Oh, he was in rehab, Peterson?
Yeah. He was because he got addicted to fucking benzos.
No way!
Xanax, I think it was, yeah.
Oh. Clean your room, buddy.
So
wash your penis.
Wash your foreskin.
Yeah, Peterson is extremely similar. I'm glad you brought that up because Peterson did the same type of thing where he was trafficking in these ideas that lead to a very, they lead you down a path, right?
Yeah.
And that path often ends up in, the nationalistic or whatever.
He was basically saying, go down this path, but don't go that far down it.
Yeah, don't take these ideas to their logical conclusions. Just like play in this little safe area. Right. And I think they both suffered a lot for that. Yeah, because it's disingenuous and people can see that. Like I said, even if you're not like for white collectivism or whatever, you can see that these people are full of shit.
Yeah. What about that other dude? I was gonna say something derogatory about it, but I won't. But because of our live stream. But the other guy, what was he? He was always drunk and going on rants. He was the actor. I think he's Jewish too.
Oh, Benjamin.
I got clips.
Yeah. He's
talking about
his.
Is he still?
He's like the number one on DLive. Yeah, he's number one on DLive.
Like number one or number two on DLive. Yeah.
Are you kidding? I thought he was done. I thought he had shown it off. I didn't know. Wow.
Yeah, so did I. But he's like, I guess.
I think he was number one, and Nick Fuentes was number two, right?
He beats out Fuentes?
Yeah.
Wow. That's shocking.
Well, probably not after the election streams, because I think Fuentes made bank there. But I think the period that that top 10 is from like March to October. And Owen was number 1. Pretty wild.
Because Ethan Ralph posted the top 10 list because he was like number 5 or 6 on it.
Is he still ranting about not going? Is he still ranting about not going to the moon and flat Earth? I mean, that was the.
He talks about all that shit all the fucking time, dude. Dude, he's gone even more off the deep end than he ever was before. Like, he's fucking... the dude's a fucking nutcase, dude.
He's drinking turpentine.
Like, he's fucking crazy. Like, seriously.
I remember seeing the one thing, like, one of the few times I tuned in, he was bragging about this fence, right? And here I am finishing up a fucking bunk. And this guy's talking about his fence, so I was like, all right. And I see this fence, and I'm like, God, kid. I said, I've seen kids make a better fence than this. What the hell kind of fence?
Yeah.
He's on there bragging.
Murray's saying you think that dropped the viewership down. Oh, it's impressive too because it doesn't allow non-subscribers in his chat. You'd think that dropped the viewership down, and it does. He only pulls like 3K a stream, whereas Fuentes gets 10K at night. But Owen does like 5 streams a day. And he's always got
I can see that too. Owen has a very cult-like following.
Yeah, and he's always got some fucking... Sorry, go ahead. He's always got some scheme that he's trying to put in where he wants to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna buy this land in Idaho and we're gonna build the fucking da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
And he got in with that
Gentlemen, I'll be right back. I'm picking up my...
Alright, Aaron just popped up, Aaron and Mike just popped up. So I want to hear what...
Real quick, he was involved with the Jew over in Italy, the science fiction writer guy. Oh, what the heck's his name?
Leo Zagami?
The little Jew guy. Vox Day.
Oh, Vox Day. Oh, that guy. I hate them.
He's involved with him.
Yeah.
And they come together with the Boomer Day. Yeah, Vox Boomer, whatever his name. He the Spanish boomers and shit. Yeah, that's nuts. He was what do you call it? Involved with him was some kind of like an alternate YouTube where they were scamming or something, or allegedly scamming.
Yeah, what's that? It's like band.tv, I think, is their site.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Was it? No, good.
Something
Band.video is InfoWars thing. It's
oh no, it's like uncensored or it's something like that. Something real lame.
That's not it either, but I can't remember the name of it. Because him and
I'm banned from that.
Yeah, because he was doing that in with what's it called? Fucking Owen Benjamin. Oh, before we go on,
I got the
Yeah.
I got banned by that Vox Day guy for making fun of him because he said and I don't like Rogan, but he said he could beat the shit out of Rogan, and I just had a big laugh over it. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, dude.
Vox Day. Well, yeah, Fat Pig Signals donated an ice cream, and Magnus donated, I was going to say 88 lemons, because that was what he was going for, so thank you guys for that. HH brother.
How you doing, Aaron?
I'm doing all right, man. We just got back from the fucking Capitol.
How was that?
The governor's mansion.
Yeah, you guys got out on the streets. Yeah, what was?
You're on video.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. That's fine. Oh, I'm a Trump here. Fucking nerd. Yeah, we were first down in Atlanta in front of the Capitol building. And we got there like an hour late. Like it started at noon. We got there, I think, like 1:15. You cannot be on camera. This is our cat. He's being a pain in the ass right now. But yeah, we were down there. It was good. Fuentes showed up. They had like a main stage with slightly better audio. That grifter guy with, what's his name? Ali Abdul Akbar, whatever. That fucking dude was on there talking. Akbar. And then they had that chick, I think her name's Deanna, which we met her and had like a normal conversation with her, the girl from InfoWars. She was there with her cowboy hat, her Stars and Stripes hat. So we were talking
Which
to her.
one?
I think her name's Deanna. She's a little
Is
short.
she the? Oh, I know. I saw something. There was some girl that Jones picked up, like some blonde, big.
She had kind of blonde streaks, but her hair is just slightly lighter.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Driving his
she's cute.
Tank
short
truck
chick
around.
She could have been. I don't know. She had a cowboy hat on. It was like American flag cowboy hat.
Yep. No, she's not talking. She's not talking about the ethot that Fuentes and them were hanging out with. I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about with the big. I mean, she's got like a Playboy body, right?
Yeah, I didn't see any of that there.
That's not who she's talking about.
There was
the video.
There was a lot of virgin pretend autists down there. So.
Oh boy.
She would have got swarmed if she was there.
Yeah.
They did have a biggins there. There was this big blonde chick, but she was like 250, 300. You know, it was a big one.
Now this one, there was a video.
She was just with the Groypers. She wasn't with Fuentes, but
there was a video of
James
her
was down
Twitter.
there. They were like at one corner of the Capitol. Ali Abdul Akbar, whatever. He was in front with the Alex Jones team. Fuck.
Was Jones there?
No, they said he was there from Tuesday. He left last night because he had to go be with his family, which sucked because we thought he would be. And, you know, Hubs works all week, so every time he would get home, it's like 4:15, and it's like, hurry up, get ready. Say we left the house within 5 minutes. By the time we get to Atlanta, it's on, you know, traffic. It would be after 5:30. The shit's way done by then. It started at noon every day.
Yeah.
Oh, so the conservatives are wrapping it up at night? They're only doing it during the day.
Today we had to wrap it up real fucking quick. Like around 2:30, the cops instantly were just like, out of the streets, one side of the sidewalk or the other, out of the streets. Yeah, and kept asking these state troopers why they were pushing us out of the streets. And most of them just smiled and kept walking, wouldn't even give us an answer. One black guy stopped, tried to answer me. So I'm like, why did you push us out of the streets? And his answer was, you don't own the streets. And I'm like, that's not really an answer. And
well, actually, yes, we do.
Yeah, I'm like, my taxes do pay for it. So
so you can storm. So you can storm CNN headquarters and burn cars up and throw rocks through buildings and do all of that.
That's too funny because when I first came down here, when we were dating, I came down to Atlanta to visit him. We went into the city. We went to like Centennial Park, like their Olympic park setup or whatever.
Yeah.
I think like from the 80s, 88 Olympics or something.
90s, but yeah.
Something. Anyways, and we went by CNN and we made poster boards. You know, CNN's fake news. And we were just like, all we wanted to do was stand next to the big CNN logo that's right in front of their building with our sign and just take some photos or quick video. And cops, because there's a police department right across the
literally right across the street.
Yeah. Yeah, a pretty major one. Like, they got a nice little parking garage and everything.
Yeah.
They were they're like, this is private property. You can't be here. I'm like, I'm on the sidewalk. This isn't private property. And they're like, look, you're going to really hurt their feelings. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
They're like, yeah, that's the point.
We just wanted to take our photos. And literally, we had 5 cops that wouldn't let us next to the CNN sign for photos because we were going to hurt CNN's feelings. That's what we were told.
So this is even more evidence that this shit was completely allowed to happen. I mean, firsthand evidence.
Oh, definitely.
Because
100%.
they're pushing you guys out of everything, and they're pushing everybody. You know, oh, you Trumpers, you got to get the hell out of here.
Finally got the cop to answer
out there all night.
He said that, you know, apparently it came from Kemp because these were state troopers. At first I didn't realize that. I thought they were Atlanta cops. I'm like, so what? The mayor told you the mayor told you what to do. Your boss. He's like, oh, the mayor's not my boss. And I saw his badge. I was like, oh, okay, so the governor. He's like, well, he didn't tell me directly. And I'm like, he told your boss, and your boss told you to shut it down, pretty much. Like, cause he was like, yeah, the permit's over. And they're like, so you've seen the permit? He's like, well, actually, I have no idea. We were just told we had to end it now and open the streets back up. So it was like they let him have 2 hours today.
So they can break your balls over, and you guys get the Trumpers get permits, and they're gonna break your balls and hold you to the law. And then the lefties out there, no permits, masks on, throwing shit, beating up cops, doing all hell. And
that's the shit I was saying to them. I'm like, we were just chanting, literally right before the cops break it up, just chanting, like, stop the vote and don't say no, don't, like, pretty much never die, never surrender, never give up. Instantly, cops are like, all right, get out of the streets. And everyone's like, okay, see you later. I'm just like, what the fuck happened to never giving up, never surrender? Like, as right, we roll over so fucking easy for authority.
Oh yeah.
It's like, well, we respect you guys. We pay your fucking bills. We respect you, and it's just like, maybe we need a little pushback.
And this is kind of, remember you asked me earlier, we were talking about how like, oh, well, how do you think the police will be on our sides or whatever? But this is actually the perfect example.
Clearly,
they mostly do what they're told.
They do what they're told. Sheriffs, and deputies are more likely to be on our side because they're elected than state troopers and city cops.
Which we totally went into that while you were probably at the same time you were probably dealing with that. We were talking about
there was like apparently Antifa there. So funny. So they had like SWAT guys in full SWAT gear, like blocking off these sections of the street. Like the corner where Nick is speaking, he's here. There's a line of SWAT right here behind him, then another line of SWAT like that. And behind that SWAT apparently was Antifa. I literally saw 5 dudes, 4 with like phones trying to film everyone chanting at them, like America First and freedom and all that stuff. And then one guy with like a 1993 camcorder. It was like so funny. Like they're not saying anything for Antifa.
You saw the protest for Back the Blue, right? And there were guys that they were getting the crap beat out of by cops, and they're like, "We're on your side, you dumb shits! Like we're out here with the black and blue, the black and blue American flags. We're out here supporting you, and you're kicking our asses.
Yeah,
what the hell's going on?
Like what the fuck? Ridiculous. Yeah, they're the ones that are talking about defund the police and all cops are bastards, and we're protesting against them on your side, and you're busting our balls."
Well, I was making kind of snide comments saying that to the cop, like, well, maybe if I had a fucking Molotov cocktail, maybe you wouldn't push me off the street, like maybe then you'd respect me, because I got this cop to stop because like I said, his first response was, "You don't own the road." I'm like, that's not an answer, and I literally had talked to him for 10 minutes before he finally gave some kind of answer, like, we were told by the governor to end it, that it's over, so.
Kemp's Republican, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I saw there was one old lady down there. She had a sign. She looked probably 60, maybe 65. She could have been 55 and just poorly kept up. I don't know, but she was definitely older than me. And she had a sign that said, "Kemp's a traitor," and then Dominion. And I was just like,
Yeah, that's because Marigay is certified the vote. He certified the recount, but then Trump called him out on it, and he was getting a lot of flack for it. So he was.
They've been surrounding the governor's mansion, I guess, since Tuesday or Wednesday, every fucking day.
That's why
yeah, we did tonight too. They, surround. It's like we're across the street. The mansion across the street from the governor's mansion has a sign that says "Stop the Steal." So they allow people onto not really their front lawn, but like here's their house, the front lawn, the gate. So on the little bit of the ledge in front of their gate, which is still technically their property, but they let us all, that's where we were, screaming at the governor's mansion like crazy people. But
wow.
Yeah, so we were out there.
Did you throw bread?
It got killed pretty quick. I wish I had bread. I kept telling everybody my plan, though. I kept telling them about the bread plan. I'm like, look, man, they try to put that pedophile. I'm there, Inauguration Day. I will have a giant black garbage bag filled with stale dinner rolls. And I'm going to maybe buy a couple of fucking Biden shirts just to put on the top, so if I get stopped, like, oh, I got Biden gear to sell. We'll see my dinner rolls.
What's with the bread? Why the bread?
Because I figure if I pelt them with bread, one, it sends them out. It's like, throwing the rotten eggs or the old tomatoes and lettuce. And it's food, so I wouldn't get in trouble because I could just be like, oh, they looked hungry. I was feeding the birds. Like, it's not like pelting rocks.
Yeah, and it's not going to hurt anybody.
Exactly. So I figure it's a way to try to, like a loophole. Because it's bread.
Yeah.
I'm just feeding pigeons. I didn't know any better. I mean, people are like, oh, you got you on tape saying different. I'm like, whatever. It's fucking bread. Really. Get over it. So fucking say I wish I could go out there with rotten eggs and stale lettuce and old tomatoes and throw that at like people. Hell,
that's how it used to be.
A bag full of shoes.
Yeah, so like these people are out there, they're fucking chanting like mindless lunatics, which I like the energy, but I don't like the mindless chants. We're just like, yeah, 12 more years. And they all just start chanting, but 12 more years. It's like, God, it's kind of weird. It's like almost as if like Fuentes told you to chant some ridiculous shit, you guys would all just
start chanting some ridiculous shit. 12 more years. Yeah, well, let's let's worry about the next 4 first.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the messages of the chants bothered me. It was the group think, like, we're all saying the same fucking thing. It's just kind of freaky.
Exactly.
All right, guys, I'm back.
And yeah, it was
got my food.
Sweet.
But I'm going to mute myself because I don't think you guys want to listen to me make love to an Italian beef sandwich. So,
no. We don't like hearing you chew. We don't like hearing you make weird grunts trying to clear your throat. Sound effects, bro.
The birds. What's weird about grunts?
He's just over there like, like they're not even grunts. He sounds verklempt. He sounds like he's getting a phlegm ball up for like 20 minutes. It was horrible. That's what I want to hear. That sounds like a good sound. I kept telling my husband though, because I'm not a fan of Fuentes, so I just kept saying it like, wow, if you can't look at this objectively and say this is kind of fucking gay, all these dudes and no offense to the virgin guys out there, but these were like, I get why y'all hate women. I can see why y'all hate women.
Was it that bad?
What's that?
It was that bad. It was that bad.
There was one guy there.
Did you get any video or anything?
No, I didn't bother. There was a lot of people filming. You probably will see me on films because I was pretty goddamn close a lot of the times. But there was this guy.
Yeah, I saw that Ralph was streaming over there.
Ralph.
Ethan the kill stream.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't see him. Wouldn't know. He's kind of a big guy, right?
He'd be one of the ones that would blend into that crowd.
Kinda.
Yeah, no, I didn't notice him streaming. He could have been there, but
from the way you described that crowd, you'd be hard to pick him out.
It's so fucking weird. Like the people who were in front of the Alex Jones people, the InfoWars crowd. I mean, they just look, like the Americana people.
Yeah.
A whole variety of different people, all with like Trump gear on, don't tread on me flags, back the blue. Some of the guys in full like camo with their ARs. What's that?
Were they separate from the were these crowds kind of separate?
Yeah, like you have the Capitol building, right? Like you're looking like this is the front of it in the dead center, like up where the main walkway is to the Capitol building. That's where InfoWars was. That was the main setup, right? Then on the corner, just down the road, that's where Fuentes was. And he had, like, the shittiest fucking... He didn't have a megaphone. He had, like, this weird kind of, like, intercom megaphone, with, like, the little CB handheld device shit.
Oh, those things suck.
He sounded like the drive-through at like a fast food restaurant. He's like, like I wasn't that far from him. We literally were probably 20 feet at most, and I could not understand what he was saying. Like one price, I think he said, "Christ is king," and I'm like, is he saying crusty rings? What's I couldn't understand a word out of his fucking mouth. Then when he got on their main PR, he did eventually go to the center stage, and they gave him a mic. But the assholes who were doing the audio, I don't know who they were. The chick, Deanna from InfoWars, she was like, yeah, they weren't for us. They didn't even want to really even let us use their PR system, their AV. Wow. And they fucking turned the bass like all the way up. So when Nick got the mic and started talking, all you heard was this bass reverbing. Like you couldn't, when you have a speaker, you don't put the bass on at all. It's all treble, so it sounds clear.
Or mids more than anything, but yeah.
Yeah, you don't turn the bass on to like it. That's all you could hear is boo, boo, boo. Like everything he said, the little bit of bass his voice has.
We bumping that shit, yo.
Yeah, they were bumping.
Hip hop Fuentes.
It was But we were really close to him when we were at the governor's mansion. Vincent James and him and the fucking.
Oh, Vincent was out there.
Yeah, Vincent was out
nice,
there.
Nice,
yeah. Ali Abwabwa, whatever the hell his
he's
name
a
was.
respectable guy. Vincent James is a respectable guy.
There were some other people out there too. Mike.
Yeah, I actually meant to bring Vincent James up when we were talking about Molyneux getting gas and how you never hear from him anymore.
Yeah.
Like with Red Ice, you still hear from him all the time. Vincent James, you got me watching YouTube.
Yeah, he's got a big show.
Yeah, I just watch him on BitChute.
I like Vincent James.
Yeah,
I like Vincent James. He's all right.
You guys got his Twitter handle, right?
Red Elephant?
He's got a little, like, kind of undercover Twitter handle.
I think he has two. I think he has one under his actual name, Vincent James.
Yeah.
But then he has the actual.
But he had the Red Elephants one. Yeah, but the Red Elephants one got gassed, didn't it? But.
Well,
did he make another one? Like
he made another one.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't Red Elephant. It was Red Elephants. Maybe Red Elephant Returns. I don't know.
It's like Red Ellie or something.
Yeah. I actually follow that too.
He's a nice guy, man. He's a family guy. I think Vincent.
There's things that they chanted.
That's who I would like. That's like if I was gonna have somebody in mainstream or something. I would want somebody like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying he's not compromised or anything. I don't know, but he seems like a fair, like, level-headed, honest dude. I would, I'd rather have him up there.
Yeah. He is the epitome of good optics, like,
Yes, there you go. That's good optics. Yeah.
They chanted some things though. It was fucking weird. Like they kept chanting like the Christ is King stuff, and I'm all pro-Christian, but why are you bringing Jesus into this? He's not going to help us with the election. I get you guys want to keep announcing that you're Christian, but at one point I shouted, "Traitors get the rope," talking about politicians, talking about Kemp. And I said, we need to hang them from trees. Swear to God, all these freaking virgins turned and looked at me like, huh? That's literally what we do.
Fed.
You're doing and some other shit. They started screaming like, "Go to war, total war." I'm like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Now, if 100,000 of us marched to DC with some ropes in our fucking hands, some nooses, I think they'd get the message a lot clearer. You hang Nancy Pelosi for a tree. Watch how quick the rest of them get in line.
Start building guillotines and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not afraid. They're not afraid anymore. Like, we're afraid of them. Like, that's how they all looked at me like, shh.
Guillotine is probably a more appropriate optic for it, but yeah.
I don't care.
Although we're Americans, so rope is more traditional for us, for sure.
It's kind of like a Black Pill said, it's the day of the rope, man. That shit's coming.
That's right.
That's like Judgment Day. I'm like, fuck. Waiting for Judgment Day. Their Judgment Day comes at the end of a rope. Like,
yeah.
You want shit to happen. It's like the same thing. They talk about Trump has passed.
See, the problem with the rope is they'll be like, "Oh, look, it's fucking naughty. Wind nuts."
Yeah, I gotta tell you, it was funny. I was talking to when we were talking about. I don't want to say her name's Deanna, the chick from InfoWars. Her and her guy, which I think he was like her sound guy, or just AV guy, I guess. Producer, if you want to call him that. So we're talking to them at the bar. Michael and I having this normal conversation with them. And they started telling us things about Trump passed this little executive order back in 2018, specifically about the election, saying it's almost like sedition. Like anybody who's trying to mess with the election, any foreigners trying to mess with the election.
Correct. It's a serious
passing a fraud.
penalty.
He could literally detain them like in Guantanamo or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Which is crazy. And it's like, and I said to them, like, yeah, but if he does that, they're going to literally start calling him Hitler. They're going to, oh, tyrant, look, tyrant. It's like,
yeah, they're going to do that anyway, though.
Exactly.
They've been doing that for 4 years.
Yep.
So,
it fucking pisses me off. Really, that pisses me off a lot. The fucking 4 years. And why aren't you helping Biden's transition team? Why aren't you giving? It's like, what the fuck? I love that Kayleigh McEnany called him out for that shit. She was like, Obama never did shit for Trump's transition team. You people never did anything.
Right.
For the past 3.5 years, you've been demanding his arrest. Yeah. All you've done is obstruct him.
All you've done is stand in the fucking way the whole fucking time.
Fucking elected officials did not even go to the inauguration. We won't go, not our president. And you're just like, oh, why aren't you helping his transition team? He hasn't even won yet. Like,
it's absurd.
I would start honestly. Like, I think the media, it's done telling them that they got First Amendment rights, because the shit they're doing when you outwardly lie and you know you're fucking lying and you're caught in your lie and then you still try to continue it. That's sedition. You're done. There's no
But we don't have
Amendment.
We don't.
No.
The thing is, we don't have anti-sedition laws anymore.
We should bring them back.
Yes,
they are on the book still.
No, we still have.
Yeah, they're still there. They're still in the amendment.
I was actually looking it up today.
Yeah, they are. But
yeah, how do you think they throw all the militias in prison? They use this fucking sedition laws to persecute militias and shit. So why don't we turn it against them?
Yeah, Sedition Act of 1789 and the Sedition Act of 1918.
We let corporate America slide because they all scream freedom of the press. It's like, that's is not what freedom of the press means.
Right.
Just because you have a fucking press pass doesn't mean you get to say anything you want as if it's true.
There is a slippery slope there. We don't want a ministry of truth either.
Yeah.
We don't want a ministry of truth, but we as the people should hold them responsible. Look,
absolutely.
They
shouldn't be allowed to get on there and be like, a plane just crashed into a mountain and it never happened. You know what I mean? They shouldn't just be able to blatantly lie about it.
No, they shouldn't. When you talk to family members and your family members say things like, look, you just got to accept that Biden's the president. Oh, why? Because ABC told you that? That's a fucking problem. He's not the president. The election's not fucking over. And the fact that the media keeps pumping you filled with this nonsense, that is sedition. That's a fucking crime. That's not the First Amendment anymore.
And it actually goes, like, because today... There's the big thing that Jack said, that they're going to take all the fucking POTUS and at White House and all that shit, Twitter accounts, and give them to Biden on January 20th, no matter what happens.
He ain't going to do shit. Did you see what Facebook just did?
Yeah.
What'd they do?
What did
you guys talk about that? Oh, well, Facebook had Biden. They changed it after the media called it. They changed Biden's thing. So when you see Joe Biden underneath it, it said president. Today swear to God, today they just changed it back to politician.
Because
because they had both of them. They had
they did that a few days ago, didn't they?
No, it was today, this morning.
Okay.
It might have been last night, but
Facebook, so let me ask this question again. I've asked this before on here, but Aaron stuff, and I just want to ask it again. Do you guys are you of the opinion, do the left, like not the left, the people in the streets, but I'm talking, Biden, etc. Do you think they believe that they're screwed, like they're not winning? Do you think like the tax?
I think they know.
The media,
I think quite a few of them know the jig is up.
I don't think Biden.
That's what I meant. Yeah, if the jig is up, that's what I meant.
I don't think Biden actually himself knows much of anything.
No, Biden doesn't even know where the fuck he is.
But how did he run that enterprise? How did he have such? Or was Hunter really running?
What enterprise?
Well, the whole crime family. I mean, they literally are a crime family. They've been doing this shit for 30, 40 years.
Dementia and Alzheimer's are quick.
That's true.
They're quick and degenerative.
They call it sudden onset.
He set it up.
Yeah, he could have got that in the beginning of the election season. Like, that could have triggered it. The stress of all those debates with all those other Democrats, that could have triggered it. And it's just a snowball. It goes so fast.
Now, there was a
Jill's
leak
running
about
it more
somebody.
Than anything. Right now.
Yeah, and there was a leak that somebody who worked on his campaign anonymously said that they were giving him shots or something. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, there's been people who said that they were getting the meds. They had to get the meds in their names so nobody would find out.
Yeah,
that's right.
They're like, why are 25-year-olds getting Alzheimer medication?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And in medicine, it was making him incontinent. Right?
Yeah,
and they were looking for specific diapers and stuff that would show.
Looking for Biden diapers.
Yeah, that wouldn't show, like, like all puffy in his trousers. Yeah, stealth diapers. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, they make them.
I mean, how can you still support someone and have to do that for them? Like, wouldn't you think as a lefty, if you were a
political machine, is what it is.
The lefty, have you not seen the diaper fetish people on the left who dress up like furries and show up at Antifa rallies in fucking diapers? Clearly, they're like, finally, a president who wears diapers just like me. I'm so
just
proud.
like me.
Hey,
I gotta admit, no, I'm pretty naive about a lot of that degenerate aspect of stuff. I don't even know what a furry is. A patron, Apu.
You don't want to.
He's like, that's
you
what
need to learn. You need to
said,
learn.
No, you don't.
No,
you don't. You don't want to know.
He told people in the thread. He's like, do not tell him. You just don't you dare. Keep his innocence.
These are.
Have you guys?
I don't even know what
a
cat boy is.
These are rabbit holes you don't want to go down.
Have you guys seen the movie Dave with Kevin Kline?
No,
by the way,
a long time ago.
No, maybe.
The
a
president of the United
movie,
States,
right?
Yeah, the president of the United States of America dies, and they find a lookalike.
Yep.
Because once again, it's not about Joe Biden per se. Like all those people who are propping him up want power and money.
Yeah.
Well, they don't even care.
And he's their
they had no plan of him ever making it. Like he'll be in.
They don't give a rat's ass.
A month later, they're going to retire him.
And Trump's probably an exception, but for most presidents, he's just a figurehead anyway. It's all the people around him and his advisors and fucking this and that.
It's funny because I heard
corporate
somebody...
interests and all that, and the lobbyists and everything that get him. That's who's really.
And look at George Bush Jr. or is he actually
George W?
No,
George W. I mean, like, was he smart enough to actually become president of the United States of America? No, it was everybody.
He was smarter than he acted. He just
definitely was.
Maybe,
yeah, he was able to be a fighter pilot. He had to have some higher level of cognitive ability to be a pilot.
He went to an Ivy League school. I mean, granted, Daddy and Granddaddy went there, but still.
But you heard the guy talk before, right?
Yeah, but the media also took a lot of sound bites from him. I miss the days of laughing at W.
I used to do that a lot when I was younger, pretend like I was stupid, so it's easier.
Well, I don't know.
My parents used to make fun of him all the time. They used to make fun of him all the time.
He's stupid. I just think that he is really not good at almost like a nervous condition.
Probably
because he was raped by his dad for so long as a child.
That's quite
he really
possible.
can't publicly speak.
You guys remember how they used to make us say he looked like a fucking chimp?
Yeah.
My
and then
parents
Obama
used to
gets in. There's no more chimp comments.
But then Trump got elected. My parents like, I remember George W. I miss voting for George W. Bush, and I literally turned to them and I'm like, you people would fucking make fun of him for like the whole eight fucking years he was in office.
I didn't vote.
No, even lefties are like George W. Bush because he was against Trump.
I didn't vote for.
Oh my God! I love George W. Bush. Fuck off.
Who was the guy that ran against him in 2004? Was that Kerry?
That was John Kerry.
Yeah, I didn't vote for him either.
Hold on.
Or no, it was 04.
I didn't vote for any of those
said
guys.
Some shit today,
I voted for Ron Paul, I think, actually, in 2000 and 2004.
Kerry said some shit today, too, that I posted about it earlier. Let me see if I can find it again.
I want to
He was saying something about we need to crush the populist movement.
Good luck with that.
Right.
We can't have the plebes having a say in anything.
Kerry, the fucking not the sugar daddy, but he was the fucking pimp, right? Yeah, this goddamn wife there. She's like the heiress to the Heinz ketchup fortune. Squash that populist movement.
Yeah, that was Kerry, wasn't it?
Tomatoes, you faggot.
Wasn't that Kerry? Yeah.
That dude was creepy looking. Ew.
It's the oldest trick, and I can't remember his name, but there's a mob boss in New York in the 80s and the early 90s, and his biggest shtick was to walk around New York talking to himself wearing a bath.
Yeah.
And everybody thought he was a fucking lunatic, and he played it up even in court.
Yeah, he did it on purpose. Yeah, he wasn't crazy at all. He just did it on purpose so that everybody would dismiss him as being crazy. Yeah.
It's really easy to do it, right? Because you'd rather go to a mental institution than go to prison. And you'll get out of a mental institution once you're mentally sound.
This could be what Biden's doing. This could have been what Bush is doing. You play stupid. You don't want to show all your cards in the poker game.
That's the thing, though. I don't think Biden's playing stupid. I think he's legit.
He might not be.
Gone.
I don't know.
I think he's legit gone. Dude, he came out election night talking about we got the biggest fucking voter theft, voter fraud administration. Like, just came out and said that they committed voter fraud. That's not stupid. That's insane to just outward admit it. Like, yeah, don't worry,
or a slip of the tongue.
Yeah, that happens when your brain's going. He has a lot of those.
It happens to everybody.
I think it started when he started talking about how he likes to have little kids crawl on his legs. You know that?
Wait, what?
They'd play with the hairs on my legs. The hairs on my legs would turn blonde in the sun, and the kids would rub them and watch them float up in the water.
That was lifeguards, yeah. We were on all the little colored kids, and they would rub my legs and watch the hairs curl up. I love having kids jump on my legs.
You ever heard the song?
No, I don't pay attention to these people because, you know what I mean? You get to a point, it's like, what's the point? They're all controlled by Jews. I don't really pay attention to the individual aspects of them, you know? It's like, I kind of just get an overview and move on.
Yeah, I found what I was looking for about John Kerry. It's actually written by Paul Joseph Watson. Woohoo. But John Kerry says, Great Reset is needed to stop rise of populism. I'm just going to read the Kerry quotes in here. The notion of a reset is more important than ever before. I personally believe we're at the dawn of an extremely exciting time. Made it clear that this reset, which, blah, blah, blah. I think Europe has to look at that with Brexit and the rising nationalistic populism. Which is really one of the priorities that we all have to address. You can't dismiss it. What astounds me is that as many people talking about Trump, how people voted for Trump. What astounds me is that as many people still voted for the level of chaos and breach of law and order and breaking the standards. And I think that the underlying reason for that is something that everybody has to examine. The need for global cooperation and this acceleration of change will both be drivers of the Great Reset. And I see this as an unprecedented opportunity. Which goes along with what I've been saying about how they're stirring this shit up. So they have the excuse to be like, oh, you guys can't fucking figure out your own shit, so we got to take over.
The moment they say some shit like that, the moment they're like, hey, nationalism bad. We need the Great Reset. They refer to the Great Reset, which is something that comes straight out of the UN, comes straight out of the freaking World Bank. Once they say some global shill shit like that, literally, that's to get the rope. Get the rope and hang that ugly motherfucker from a tree. I don't care how wealthy his wife is. He's done because he is a fucking traitor, and we're done playing these little games with, slap you on the wrist. No. Traitors, get the rope. Bring that shit back. Watch how quick they start shutting the fuck up about, globalism is a good thing. Really?
Yeah.
I'm just, I get it because the boomers who are still here, right now, they are kind of they're that generation. They're just getting ready to retire, and those motherfuckers are weak.
Well, and this is really what it boils down to is because the media right now with where they're pushing, we declared Biden the winner and shit. They're like going all in. You know what I mean? Because they know that they were losing their power and everything. So they're like, okay, we got to go all in now or we're done. You know what I mean? And that's the same with the globalists. They're like, oh shit, this is blowing up in our faces. We have to go all in now or we'll never be able to.
Well, this is the funny thing, though. This was the plan. This plan has been here for well over 15 fucking years. This Great Reset, they knew they were going to do this in 2021.
No, it's been like at least 50 years.
Agenda 2021, that's been out there for well over 20 fucking years. They wrote that shit in the end of the 90s. So they knew come 2021, they were planning on doing this economic reset to the whole fucking planet to get us all under their global fucking fingers. That's what they wanted. That's what I mean. So it's not like they're really being rushed to do this. It's just their agenda says it has to be done now.
Got a little white pill real quick. My buddy just got to hit his baby daughter.
Oh,
great. Wonderful.
Ace. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's amazing. Put a smile on my face.
Future anti-globalist, hopefully. Hopefully it is a girl. We can only pray.
So I
was talking to the Deanna chick.
She's got a little bit older brother too to look out for, so that's great.
The InfoWars people, they don't seem to know much about like the Groypers or any of that stuff. They know, they didn't even know exactly what Groyper looked like. We had to show them. Yeah, we were showing them see, it's like a kind of fat frog, smirky. smirky fat frog. And they're like, oh, okay. And they're like, so that's like, that's connected to Nick Fuentes. And like, no. Half the Groypers follow Nick Fuentes. The other half of the Groypers don't like Nick Fuentes because he tried to say that he's king of all Groypers, and it's been around longer than him. And I was trying to explain to her, just like they just
homosexuals.
Yeah, it's like the same kind of agendas. You know, we're all about America first. We're all about Trump. We want to see things change. None of us like Ben Shapiro. None of us like, because she's like, yeah, why don't they like Charlie Kirk? And I'm like, because he wants to just put green cards on every single immigrant that comes here. Just automatic citizenship, everybody, bing, 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 bing. Like that, no. We don't want that. We don't want open borders. We don't want any more immigrants here. We want most of the immigrants who are here already to go back home. You're done. We don't need you. Sorry that Obama let so many of you fuckers in. You got to go home now. Hope you enjoyed your
vacation. All the people,
especially in the trucking industry. How many
fucking
Pakistanis and Mexicans they let in for us for fucking scalpers? Fucking bullshit.
That's what I mean. And I was trying to explain. Michael and I were both trying to explain to her, which is kind of weird because he's pro Fuentes and I'm not. But I'm not even a Groyper though. I'd consider myself more of a pepet than anything. I'm just a frog, man. I'm here in the pond. That's all. I'm a deplorable.
Yeah, I don't know that. I barely know the difference between the other.
Well, Pepe is the deplorable. Let's see. Apu
it's funny.
Is the autist, which I have a bit of that because I'm a Spurg, so I definitely have that. Which is funny because a lot of those Fuentes guys, they're all like, I'm a Spurg too, and I'm just like, do you say everything you're thinking all the time? Because I kind of get the feeling you don't. And his friend looked at me and was like, he doesn't really have Asperger's. So I was like, yeah, I didn't think so. I have a feeling a lot of you fuckers say you are autistic and none of you are actually autistic.
Yeah,
I can point out the virgins.
Shit.
Oh.
I had no idea.
Neurodiversity face, sir. You can't do that.
What's that?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Neurodiversity face.
But I in the group chat, I posted a picture, some pictures of a not so lovely place, and it's funny. Like I got comments, "Oh, it's beautiful," and this is the temple complex that they're building in the UAE that I talked about the other day, where you have the Islamic building, the synagogue, and the Christian temple. And they consider it all one building, even though it's three separate. And it even has their own mock Garden of Eden. And this all ties into that whole Gulf Road and everything else.
Yeah, that's some satanic shit right there.
It's exactly right.
That's like that stupid fucking sticker you see on cars. Coexist with like all these different.
Because that's what the whole Satan thing is to unite all those religions into the one. That's right.
They're all the same. Everything is the same. It's all the same. You got to respect everything.
Yep.
I can't. How can I respect Islam when they would rape me and then murder my husband unless we immediately submit to the religion? How am I supposed to respect that?
And the frog thing, like, that all came out of Frank Cohen. Keyword Cohen. And, so it's like, I've always kind of wondered if it was a means to identify, to easily identify people that that perhaps identify with a certain ideology.
Well, I think maybe it's. I mean, it'd be stupid if they didn't use it, but I think there's a lot. It's a fairly organic thing. It's kind of weird if you watch how it goes. I mean, people will ghettoize themselves naturally, right? We form our little tribes. It's just a normal thing. We've been doing that since we're little kids. Everybody does it. Oh, you like this show? Oh no, we like this show.
We've been doing this since the beginning of time.
Which when I was a kid, there was the Toronto Maple Leafs fans and the Montreal Canadiens fans, and you'd have the class split up by what jerseys you wore on to school during the hockey season, right? Like we do that naturally. And once again, are they going to use it? Sure they're going to use it, but I mean, they're not. If they're creating smidges and marvs and apus, and they're wasting their time because we just do that naturally.
No, I don't think it's that far. I meant the peppy thing.
Well, but yeah, Pepe the Frog goes back. Like if you're talking about just the cartoon, like there was the little comic strip or whatever.
Yeah, we just stole
Pepe the Frog is even older than that, which is funny. And then you go to the whole Kek thing, which I don't know if you guys know about that.
Yeah.
Kek goes back to ancient Egypt.
So let me ask you something.
Well, sort of.
So you guys are willing to accept.
I've seen the statues.
Well, but the statue that they got that from was actually a different thing, and it was mislabeled as Kek. But
well, it's not we talked about this the other day. It's not really mislabeling. There are no vowels, so it could have been Coke, could have been Keek, could have been Kak.
No, but it was mislabeled because it was a different deity, and in the Amazon or whatever it was or eBay post, they called it Kek, but it wasn't Kek. It was a different deity completely. But the one with it looks like the guy sitting behind the computer that actually says a name, and it's not Kek. Yeah, and it's not Kek or Coke or Cook or whatever.
It was still a funny meme.
Yeah.
But that was, that's kind of my point. It was, something gets taken a hold of, some autistic people to expand on it, and then it gets expanded on and expanded on and expanded on. And I mean, you could spend hours and hours just looking at the variations of the weird shit that came up with this stuff. But it's just, like I said, it's what people naturally do when they latch onto something.
Yeah.
So you guys are willing to accept Jewish conspiracy and all these other areas, but not willing to accept that they're capable of starting a movement that appears to be organic?
I'm sure they could.
To say that they're intentionally trying to make us label ourselves like our Stars of David, that just seems far-fetched because they were already labeling us. They already put us aside.
I would say it doesn't matter.
It's not an important thing, right?
I mean, you got to think they labeled the people when they were
besides
the Tea
that, I'm a
Partiers.
walrus anyway.
Yeah,
I'm sure. I'm sure there's a lot of Tea Partiers who have found themselves in Pepe or somewheres in the pond who were Tea Partiers 10 years ago.
And once again, it's more effective to start something like or subvert something like the Proud Boys than it is to what are they gonna? I don't know what they would gain from
getting people to shitpost on Twitter.
Yeah, it's kind of
Okay, let me tell you what they gain. They maintain their victimhood status, and they give normies.
They're retaining that anyways, though.
If we honestly, once again, we shitpost anyway. So
if the Twitter pond never existed and there was no frog abbeys, they would still say they're fucking victims. We come up with whole new things. Everyone becomes pigs tomorrow or crows or whatever the fuck. They're still gonna cry victimhood because they're fucking communists.
I'd just still be using the Alice in Wonderland walrus picture.
Yeah. I would still be
fucking walrus. Fuck that walrus. He was lazy as fuck. Smart, but lazy motherfucker.
And in 2015, 2016, there were just gangs of us with Roman statues.
But
yeah, right.
You gotta.
That's what I mean. It don't fucking matter.
See, this is why I end up always getting thrown out of groups, if you will.
You think people are gonna kick you out of the pond now? Hey, he said we're all part of a Jew conspiracy. Kill him.
Well,
get him.
I mean, technically, all white nationalists are, but because that's all started by Fred Smith and Joseph Davis. And
so if wait a minute, you're a white nationalist, then you are under the Jewish fucking yoke. You're part of their fucking plot. They got you.
Yeah, they love echo chambers. That's the whole purpose of social media.
That sounds far-fetched, bro. That sounds, and I'm a conspiracy nut job. That sounds so far-fetched.
Are you familiar?
Well, no, they definitely do both sides because they gotta have the enemy to be the victims
of course.
And shit.
But that's a little different than saying the white nationalist movement is completely a Jewish concept on purpose.
I don't know. I guess you don't know me as well. I grew up around some people that we were founding members of the National Alliance and other organizations, and it's all that stuff is heavily influenced. I'm telling you, the money comes straight from
the but none of us like deal with stupidities like that.
Here's the thing: I'm not part of an organization that gets Jew money.
No, I'm just.
I mean, granted,
people who
I have a bank
say,
account, which that in itself is Jew fucking money. I mean, you could just say that you work for a paycheck, you're getting Jew money. It's all Jew money. It's not legit. It's not our own currency. It's Jew fucking paper money that's worthless.
But you also got to think about this. Okay, here's the
Brendan, brother, I'm coming to Malaysia.
But no, like I know what you're talking about, but like,
yeah,
we still need to do this. It's not like whatever. Of course, they're going to use whatever we're doing to fucking further their own ends. That's how they roll. But that doesn't mean we're not doing what we need to be doing.
No, also, think about this. The fact is that most organizations that we've seen rise and fall on kind of that seem to be on our side or is kind of claimed to be on our side they have nefarious backings and they have an agenda and they're used for those things. But if you go anything along these ideological lines is Jewish because of that, then what's the other side? What's the other thing to do? What's the other option? Is to be say I don't believe in us having our own homelands because that whole concept is Jewish. So I don't really care.
Which is also Jewish manipulation.
I'll tell you what, I'm a nationalist, and I'm not a nationalist because a Jew convinced me to be a nationalist.
Yeah,
I'm a nationalist because it's the right fucking thing to do. Because if you're not a nationalist, you're a globalist.
So is it to be is it to ignore it? No. Is it to be we should be cautious. We should be thinking about what we're doing. Even if you're not organizing, even if you're just living your life, be conscious of what you're doing. Be conscious of who you're talking to.
Well, you always got to be like that, right?
I think what I'm trying to say is going for the cart before you got the horse. And the nationalism and all that stuff doesn't really it doesn't matter right at this point. What matters
that's actually the only thing it does.
That's what I mean. You've got two choices right now. We're at a fork in the road. One choice is globalism, which is what they're pushing. The Great Reset, that's all part of globalism and getting us under a fucking globalist yoke. Nationalism is the only other option. There is no.
Well, I can't do anything if I can't be allowed to speak. I mean, if I'm just going to get yelled over.
I'm sorry. I'll mute myself. I'm sorry. I'm just saying it's one or the other.
No, it's not. But
what's the third choice?
The third choice is to focus on the problem.
Well, that's what we're doing because the biggest problem.
If you got a cancer in your body and you're focusing on the symptoms, the cancer is going to keep giving you more symptoms. You're just going to keep going after symptoms, and you're going to die anyway.
Well, what's the cancer?
What's the cancer? Starts with for one, I would say, thank you. There you go. That's the cancer. And
I know it'd be great.
So
it'd be great to just get to a place where all Jews need to go to Israel. That'd be fucking awesome.
No. The first again. Here we go. The first step is we have to break ties with Israel because this is all.
How do you do that though?
This is all centered around technology. They're going to break the ties for us.
Okay, they're going to break the ties for us, and then that's a moot point. Then it doesn't even matter because they're going to do it for us.
So what I'm saying is we have to stop Israel. We have to stop the Belt and Road. We have to stop the technology transfers. These are illegal things in the legal world that we can stop.
We should stop it with China too. We should stop it with a lot of fucking countries.
Well, that's what I just said.
And that's becoming a nationalist.
You have Israel, you have China, and you have Russia together with a bunch of other. But those are the three big players, and the whole thing is America's getting cut out of the picture.
I don't know. I think Switzerland's a lot bigger of a player than Russia.
I don't disagree with you at all, but my point is I feel like even before that, we have to make everyone aware of the problem, which is kind of what we're trying to do right now. At least a lot of us, I think.
You're not gonna wake up normies by going, you got to get the Jew. It ain't
Congo, exactly. But you are the one that said that. That's the whole point. Right now, half of this country is more than happy to have open borders, no borders at all. They're more than happy to give in to the globalist plan.
I need to say something. Because I haven't let everybody else talk.
Oh my God! Just stop fucking fighting.
I'm talking politics. What I'm talking. You gotta. This is global. This is trade. This is politics. This is espionage, and those things you can actually fight legally. Those are treasonous activities that you can go after that will wake normies up. That will say, hey, wait a minute, our relationship, like the USS Liberty, that should have been pounced on like a lion, but it wasn't.
Well, yeah. And we're trying to draw attention to that. But here, let me talk because this is important.
But you're not going to draw attention going white nationalism.
How do you know? Because you don't let me talk either.
I hardly ever get any speaking time, man. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Me neither.
Over the whole time.
But the whole point, what I'm trying to reply here too, is that I'm actually working on stuff that, well, politics is a worthless lost cause as long as they got the media, as long as they're running big tech, as long as they're running all this shit, right? But they're actually starting to lose their hold on it because politics is about to control people's minds, and as long as people are staring at their fucking TVs or stuck on Facebook and Twitter, where these jackasses can control the flow of information, then the politics are going to go the way they want it to go anyway, which is what we're seeing right now. Yeah. So, what you have to do, and like I said, they're too big to fight directly. What we have to do is make a system, which is actually what I've been working on for years, is build a system that makes their tech obsolete, cuts them out of the picture. There is no centralized control. Utilizing this, then all their systems of control, the economics, the political, the cultural, all their manipulation, I can take them all out with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they control the security, the software. They control Windows. They control Intel. They control.
Yeah, and eventually we'll have to make our own.
90% of the world.
Yeah, but they also control the government, so it's going to be a great way of trying to get laws passed and do it the legal route when they control them too.
But I'm not talking about just the U.S. government. 90% or more of the world's computers use their technology. That's controlling other governments in other nations. The extortion, the blackmail. They control the security software that these countries use to protect their national secrets, thereby giving them access to those secrets.
I know.
Israel's got everybody.
Congo, are you not American?
Yep.
Am I not American? I was born in Chicago. I've been here for
well, no,
over
because you're
400.
just like, I'm not talking about the American government. I know it's very, egocentric.
I'm talking about
to speak of America since I'm an American and I'm in America, and I know maybe Air Raid or somebody is like Canadian.
I'm Canadian. Yeah, I'm Canadian.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not trying to like cut Canada out of the picture, but we're dealing with America. We're in America and we're talking about America, so it is American government, because you're not going to get the Chinese government or the Russian government or the fucking voodoo government to write these laws for you to stop what's going on here. It has to be done here.
The key is that they can't compete on an even playing field with transparently. They have to have the shadows to hide in and uneven playing grounds and all this. So,
no, but you did say, you did say to do it legally. So that's why I'm thinking you were talking about doing it through law, doing it through legislation.
I'm talking, for example, what I'm
let's finish. Let Congo finish.
Thank you. What I'm talking about is espionage. Espionage is a fucking felony. It's a life sentence. They've committed tremendous amounts of espionage. That can be proven in a court of law. Okay?
Right.
There's
So look at Jonathan Pollard.
Unfortunately, today that was big news too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my point is, they're not just doing it to America. I wasn't saying don't talk about America. I'm saying that this is global. If we were to move on them now, let's say we're to say F
But who's
Israel,
we? This is the point.
I'm saying America, the government. If the government was to say, well, Israel's da-da-da-da, they're going to have 90% of the world on their side. Because those countries don't have a choice. Why do you think these countries are all of a sudden signing up for everything? Because they know where the future is. The future is with Israel, China, and Russia.
No, I don't think so. I think 90% of them sign up for it because their currency comes from a privately owned central bank.
That could be too, but again, it's the same thing.
The people who are making the decisions up high, like the paycheck they get from their global masters. That's why we, the people, need to rise up in nationalist movements and make them fear us once again.
That ain't gonna.
They don't fear us.
How are they gonna fear you? They know everything we're saying right now. They don't fear nothing.
Good. Let them know that. But I gotta tell you what, I said this at the fucking rally.
How are you gonna organize?
100,000 of us show up at the fucking Capitol building, 100,000 strong. Imagine a million people have marched to DC before for lesser fucking shit. We're talking treason. We're talking selling out our country. And let's be fucking real. Once you get America, that's it. It's game fucking over. Okay? All these other countries, it's like America needs to back NATO 100%. America needs to always back fucking everything. We had to bend over backwards for fucking NAFTA to happen. It's always us. Like, we pull out of it, it falls apart completely. China ain't gonna do shit. What the fuck are they gonna do? They're gonna build their cheap ass goods.
Europe's
World
Europe
Health
doesn't buy Chinese goods.
Still going strong. Oh yeah, they do.
Not like we do. We're their fucking cow. They sell more made in China over here than they do in Europe.
Yeah.
Which is why they're trying to shift it away from America and collapse America.
Right, which we don't need to do. We don't need China to do other shit. We're only hurting ourselves by doing that. But the globalists have been getting into power for a very long time now and sending this fucking trade overseas. That they decided this like when Nixon went to China that they were going to start sending shit to China. But it takes a while to be able to implement these plans. But they did that when Nixon went to China in 1970 or whatever it was. You know? Yep. So, these are long-range plans that we're fighting against. And they've gotten so far along because, you know, we were growing up while it's happening. We're like, what the fuck? So, yeah, we're waking up now. And we're like, holy shit. You know what I mean? But
I got a lot of people that are waking up.
I'll go back to what I said. I'll go back to what I said earlier. Who's the person who's been thrown in prison and who's on the run and hiding from country to country for their life, for their reporting on what's going on? Who's been in front of the UN? Who's actually presented evidence to bodies, to legislative bodies?
The UN is the problem. They're not going to be the solution.
Fucking problem. The fact that they have a Human Rights Commission and they put Saudi Arabia and China both on it shows you what a fucking joke UN is.
The fact they have a Human Rights Commission is dangerous enough right there. That's it.
Yeah.
The fact that there's an international body that says we decide what human rights are is the world government and the danger to every sovereign citizen anywhere in the world.
Yeah, remember, the UN's not the first conception of this bullshit. It really isn't. They had the fucking League of Nations.
Focused on the UN, and the UN isn't even...
The moment the United States pulled out of the League of Nations failed. We pulled out, and then Russia was like, yeah, fuck it, we're not doing it either. That was the end of the League of Nations. Just because 20 fucking years later they came back with the UN.
Yep, because they needed us.
If we pull out of the UN would fall.
And it's because we wouldn't join the League of Nations, as the League of Nations fell apart. Because without us, we're the linchpin.
Exactly.
This is just my opinion, but the number one thing is the American people have got to retake their government.
Yep.
And they're doing it with baby steps with Trump, but I mean, he is the first step in it. If he's successful over the next few years, what comes after him will be more important than him.
I can agree on that.
And it's the idea that Americans should sit back and let the chips fall where they may with literally the foreign powers taking over your government in plain sight with a stolen election. This is the time. I don't know how you guys do it. I'm not making any particular suggestions, but you know, it's up to American citizens. And I think, you know, despite the dangers of these marches and gatherings and stuff, I think they're important. Your voice has got to be heard. You got to take control of it because nothing else matters if you don't have control of this. It's like you could say, oh, we can, you know, all these crimes and stuff. Yeah, but who's going to investigate this? The FBI? Well, they're not our guys. They're run by people who hate us and are part of the game. We need somebody in power who will replace those motherfuckers.
Yeah, so I mean, it's almost like circular talking when you're like, okay, well, we got to do this. And it's like, well, how are we going to do that? But this, it's like, no, not you, Ariel. I was talking about what Congo was saying.
No, but I'm not thinking. I'm not even trying to. I'm not trying to argue against Congo or anything else. I'm just stating that this is just my particular view. Is it doesn't matter what we say or do unless we have some amount of power, right? Mm-hmm. And that power, it has to be done politically. Because that's, we need mass movement of people, and that is politics, and that is control, and that's power.
Populism. So that's where we gotta go.
But even if it's internationalism, they're using the same thing just for a different purpose, right? This is what I'm getting at. So there has to be, and this is where what Walrus was talking about is we have to have control of media. And if we have to find ways of being subversive, if we can find ways of building alternatives, then we do it. When things get corrupted, then we dump them and move on.
Great. We have to make a system that...
So I think we got to keep doing what we're doing, but be as smart as possible about it. Anyways, there you go.
When... trying to think of when the Egyptians came up with iron swords, then in order to fight them you had to have iron swords too. You got to use the technology that's there, and you have to use the technology that's there against them. Is the only way. And actually, say one person had the bronze swords, so somebody comes up with iron, well, they win, because they knew they had the better technology. So that's actually exactly what I've been working on. I can make all their systems of control obsolete.
And this is the thing too, it's, they have Windows, sure, but we have to crack Windows.
Right. Now, if we let them get ahead of us in digital currencies, because right now with cryptocurrencies, we can actually remove one of their biggest means of control, which is through finance. We can decentralize it.
But we have to get it off their system first before it's really ours. And this is where what you're involved in is so important.
Right. But same with the social media, because that's really huge these days. And other forms of media, which are the main points. Those three main points are what I'm focusing on to begin with.
And we have to get those so they can't shut them down on us.
Yeah, because
we gotta hope and pray that you're not a corruptible human being. Because if you do all this, they'll come after you and they'll offer you a lot of fucking money.
And this will happen. There will be failures, and there will be people who turn, and that's just the way it goes.
Yep. Well, I've already been fucked over a couple times. That's why it's not done yet.
That's why my point was if we get together, and I'm talking mass numbers, 100,000 plus, million plus, that's what we need to do. And look, all countries do.
Well, right now we can't even organize in any meaningful fashion.
You can't.
I honestly believe that the U.S. is going to lead the way, like we did back in 1776. We led the way to fight against tyranny, and we have to do it again. We're the ones that have to get together, and that is a problem because half of our fucking country are idiots. They're globalist shills, and they're more than happy to just give up and be part of the global system.
Our whole system's going to have to change, and the lines on the map. For one, we got to get rid of the idea that nations are lines on a map. Yes. That's one of the big ones.
Right.
No, you do that first by building walls. States all had walls.
Well, I think what he means is that it's people that make up a nation.
Yeah. Right.
Not so much.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The American people got to remember that they're a people, right?
But the lines on the map are probably going to change quite a bit. And
I don't know how it is in Bulgaria, but I know there's parts of Europe that are still like that. Like Spain is almost falling apart because they go back to city-states, and these areas still holds true with that. Mm-hmm. The Basque people, if you call them Spanish, they take that as an offense. They're Basque. Yep. They're like, no, we're not Spain. I don't care that it says we're in Spain. We're Basque.
And Galicians, same thing
in Belgium.
Galicians don't have much in common with Castilians, and
If you called a Flemish person a Brusselier, they'd get so fucking mad. If you called a Wallonic person a Flemish, they get fucking mad. They're like, no. And even within their own areas. It's still like there's still a very distinct. We are from Namur. We are from Ardens. It's very like no. This is who we are as a people, and that's what I mean. And that starts with walls and isolation. And yeah, we need to get rid of a lot of people in this country that are not part of this country. Canada needs to do the same fucking thing. So does Europe. Yeah, so does Australia.
Canada's been on the point of breaking out multiple times.
Yeah.
I just mean get rid of the immigrants. A lot of them have to fucking go.
Well, yes, that has to happen eventually, but it's not actually the first step. The first step is getting the people who are the people, the nation, together. And it doesn't matter because if you go, okay, take United States as an example, you might have to say at some point, fuck California, fuck this state, fuck that state. This is it. This is the United States. These are where all the people are. Then you might have to do some moving around of people, but you can worry about reclaiming the entire continent at another point. The main thing is you got to get control of the government. You got to get all those people activated and connected in some manner. And they're doing it naturally. I mean, they're not, despite all the shutting down on social media of these people trying to organize, they're still organizing. Despite the
to a degree, not really. That's actually I disagree. That's a big problem is that we can't organize meaningfully. But we're actually going to have to shut this conversation down about nowish because it's getting really late here. So.
No.
I mean,
this is what we get for going out and protesting. I'm sorry, Congo took off.
It's been almost 4. Yeah, it's been almost 4 hours.
I know, it's my spurgy nature, man. I'm very gung-ho, and I'm sorry. I tried to follow his logic. I really did, but it sounded so circular. It was like, well, we need to do this. It's like, well, how do you do that? Well, you do this. Well, how do you do that? Well, you got to go here. Well, how are you going to get there? It's like...
That's fine. I think we should be able to discuss this stuff, and, if anybody's got a good idea, throw it out there, and if anybody disagrees, I think we should be able to discuss it.
I mean, my way might be rough, and it might not be optic-friendly, but I'm going to tell you what. 100,000 people with fucking nooses going to the Capitol will shake some fucking heads.
I will say this, that what we have, we're going to have to build it better because we're going to have to do a different type of system because we know that this one has flaws that they already know exist and know how to utilize. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to come up with something different. That's my point of saying that we have to make what they're doing obsolete.
Yeah, absolutely. And this, I'm going to try not to drag this up too long, but we have to be able to protect our own so that when they do something like, we're not going to provide you with banking, we have some sort of an alternative.
Yep.
You're going to lose your job. Well, that's okay because we don't do business with you anyways. You know what I mean? Like this type of shit. And I don't know how to do that. I'm not saying I do, but we have to move more further and further towards creating a redundant secondary system, which is not redundant, but you know what I mean. Like, it's like if they're if we were on telephone lines and they're shutting down the telephone lines, we have to lay our own telephone lines.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's
go to Morse code.
Don't have time to get into it.
But what I'm saying is that shit's been done in other places to certain extents, and you're talking about doing it, and that's what I'm kind of getting at.
And that's pretty much what we got to do.
When you start talking about these systems, it's kind of hard because, like, God, they got satellites up there, man.
Oh, sure, I know. We can't go. Oh, we're going to launch our own satellites necessarily. I mean, there may be a time where we're just like, fuck them, we'll launch our own satellites, but it's stuff as stupid as ham radio or pamphleteering or finding other ways to communicate.
Nothing stupid about ham radio, brother.
No, but you know what I mean. No, but you know what I mean. Like it's.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It sounds
CB
ridiculous.
Radio, brother.
Yeah, it sounds.
The difference is that's going backwards. We need to be ahead of them, not behind them.
No, I know, but that's why I'm saying it's. I'm not saying sometimes actually pull the ham radios, but we may. The worse it gets, the more kind of Stone Age we might have to be. But
hell, and if they do what they say they're going to do, like people have talked about that for years. I'm dropping a big EMP and just goodbye everything.
Yeah, but then you just rebuild. That's not as.
Well, that's what I mean. But you might have to go back to No, because the people with the shortwave radios, they're gonna probably outlast an EMP.
All right. Before we go balls deep in this
again,
I think I'm gonna go ahead and pop out.
Yeah.
So we can end this.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's my fault. Don't on me. I know. I come in here.
I was gonna say, well, we can keep the conversation going after the stream.
Flippity flappity. We were gonna stream tonight too.
We can just stay in the room.
Hubs was so exhausted from our
I gotta
out.
actually check. I think my family might be on a
passed out
type thing, so I'm gonna have to check in with them now. But I just wanted to pop in and see how
I gotta go to bed. But
you know.
So are you like people vampire? Like
it's 5 o'clock. It's almost 5:30 in the morning. Like
that's the time to turn on the fucking disco lights. Start raving it out like, yeah.
It's fucking 8:15 here, you fucking homo.
Your time zone is gay.
I found a picture of Walrus.
That's right.
I found
you and your gay ass fucking global homo time zone.
I found a picture of Walrus. I found a picture of Walrus.
John's gone crazy again. We've lost
You
it.
okay?
I don't know. It sounds like he's having too much fun with a picture he has of Walrus, which I don't know if I want to know.
Again.
What?
Hubs is up. Hubs is down.
It's gonna be Walrus in the Great War.
I don't know.
Civil War II Electric Boogaloo. This is gonna be Walrus. I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Civil War II Electric Boogaloo.
Jesus, dude.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen,
you're gonna laugh yourself to an early grave, bro. You better.
I know, right? We're gonna keel over, guys. Like,
come on, brother. Yeah. All right, guys.
Quick, get the paddles.
All right. See you later, Raider.
Have a good night, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully.
Have a good night,
yeah,
brother.
Jacob, let us know when you cut this off air. Anytime.
Have a good night.
Yeah. All right. Good night, everybody. Because we gotta end it for the night.
Good night.
Otherwise, this could be the never-ending conversation.
See you later.
Good night, everybody. Good night. Good night, everybody.
Good night, my friend. Good night. Good night, friend. Good night. See you later.
Good night, buddy.
I made fun of my husband's buddy earlier because we were like in between protests. We stopped to get something to eat. Bar, everyone was meeting up there. Nick came. Oh my god. Which is funny because they heard Nick was coming because these idiots. They kept chanting. We're in a bar, you know. They're just like da 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 da, doing all these chants, and they were like, "Look, if you keep fucking chanting, we're gonna get you to leave. Chants have to. You can come. Chants have got to fucking stop, right? The other people here, stop fucking chanting." So, like, when Nick Fuentes came, they're like, "We're going outside to meet him so we can chant."
Hang the bouncers!
Well, that's the thing. The bouncers showed up because, you know, it's Saturday. So the bouncers showed up about 6 o'clock, right around the time that Nick showed up. So they all go outside to see Nick. And the bouncer's just like, look, if you leave, you can't come back in. Because we're not letting you guys back in here. Because it was like a super liberal area. It was so fucked up. Biden signs, like, really garbagey. It was all.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so now we know we can hang the bouncers and that bar owner now.
Yeah, right. Well, the bar owner wasn't there. It was just the fucking people working at the bar. There was like they had to call in an extra bartender. They only had one waiter.
Well, anyway,
take
it easy, guys. I gotta go to bed.
Good night, guys.
Bye, Johnny.
Gotta go to bed. Gotta go bed.
I thought he said it was only 8 o'clock where he was. Was that you,
he
Jamie?
Did, but he probably has to wake up early because he has a delivery to do tomorrow and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He's a grown boy.
He is a grown boy. He told us how grown he is.
All right. But I really got to get out of here. So,
yeah, Jacob.
Love you guys. Good night.
Adios.
Yes, good night, all. Goodbye, brothers. See you, chat.
I'm not a brother. God damn it. You can see me. I'm just...
Border.
Call me a sister. Call me man.
All right, HH sister. I'll see y'all tomorrow or later.
Yeah, you guys have a good night. Sorry if I
you're fine.
Spilt fucking Congo's parade. I really wasn't trying to, man. Just The Spurgy, it's so funny. Everyone has that goddamn thing, that meme. And that's me. I have autism. Please be patient. Like, fuck my life, man. I'm sorry. All right, guys. All right. Till tomorrow.
Till tomorrow. Good night. I almost forgot. If people are still on the chat here, I'm going to go ahead and do the lemons. I'll start the song over after I do that. So, here I'll double it. How about that? And I'll start the song over. Texas won't let me in. I ain't gonna be here long. Not afraid I'm going. I ain't gonna be here long, long. I ain't gonna be here long. The way that I live, my liver's gone, my lungs are shot, my heart's about to give. But I ain't gonna let that bother me, no. So I'm drinking, smoking, gun to rebel son. I ain't gonna let that bother me, no. So I'm drinking, smoking, gun to rebel son.